It's the Crusaders and the Vikings for the 16th time in this series. And we are at Jant Stadium here on the campus of Southwestern College, ready for Crusader football tonight on 95.9 HKFM, streaming online at adastraradio.com, or download our free mobile Ad Astra Radio app. Aaron West alongside Chris Shank and Atherton down on the sideline tonight. The 2-1 Crusaders set to take on the 1-2 Vikings. We peek back to last week. Bueller with a 20-13 win over Great Bend. What a solid night it was on the ground. The Crusaders dominating the line of scrimmage in the contest and racking up over 200 yards rushing. Very impressive performance for sophomore tailback Ben Klaus. And boy, Christopher, can't say enough about the job our guys did in the trenches to start with last week.
Yeah, anytime you can run for over 200 yards in a high school football game, that's a good night at the office. And Bueller really kind of inflicted their will offensively on Great Bend. And that's a win, too, that's really a catapult win, hopefully, for the rest of the year, because that Great Bend team is going to be a team that probably goes a couple rounds up in 5A.
Yeah, we talk a lot, of course, about the two tailbacks in McDaniel and Klaus, but really you can't talk about that backfield without talking about Braden Gentry and the job that he's done at fullback. And then as well as Jeff has run the football the last 3 weeks at the quarterback position, that makes us all that much more dangerous when you've got four guys back there that can get you the yardage that you need.
Yeah, if you're playing against a team that just solely relies on the tailback or solely relies on the fullback, or it just makes you a little bit more one-dimensional in the run game. If you've got multiple guys that are all a danger to carry the football and hurt you, you've got to defend against the fullback dives, the traps. You got to defend against the options. And the stable of people being able to carry the football well for Bueller, that getting deeper, that's going to help this team out as we get into the middle part of the season.
Yeah, 20-13 win last week. Matthew, as much as we talk about the offense, I think we have to highlight the defense from last week, too, starting again with those guys up front and really not giving Great Bend's quarterback time to settle in the pocket and get comfortable.
Yeah, I really thought that insofar as this year has gone, last week was the best that they've looked all week with those front four guys getting pressure in the backfield. I thought they did a great job. You know, anybody will tell you, if you have to blitz to get pressure, you can get gouged. It changes everything when you can get really good pressure from those front four, and those guys in the trenches were really impressive last week. Putting pressure, playing gap sound, not giving any room for those leak-out runs that are off script.
Yeah, I really think you look at those guys up front, obviously the size of Redenbaugh and Savoy, but then Brendan Skripsik is become a difference maker at defensive end. And I would talk about our quick tackle. What is a guy in Cash Carson who goes $135, 5'7". What in the world makes him successful as a defensive tackle?
Leverage and speed. Leverage and speed. It's one of those things, over the years, Coach Coles has made a heyday with having a small two-tech that's a quick, scrappy guy. And it's been fun to just see that because a lot of times he has a mismatch where he's given up an incredible amount of weight and size across the line on the offensive side. And so, he just falls into that long line of those quick two-techs that get pressure and really wreak havoc against the team, especially if they try to throw the football.
Kind of like Wile E. Coyote trying to catch the Roadrunner, huh?
Yes. It has been something that's kind of been one of the hallmarks of Coach Cole's, four-man front that they traditionally run, and Cash Carson is no different.
Of course, a lot of focus last week was on that impressive wide receiver core for Great Bend. And, oh, by the way, Matthew, our secondary played pretty darn good, too.
Yeah, really, it seems like we're saying the same thing over and over about each of the different position groups. But truth be told, I thought against Andover Central, the secondary didn't look great. And I know you guys would agree with me. I thought Andover Central probably left some points on the field in game one on some balls they just dropped. Bueller was fortunate they dropped them. I thought last week was a totally different story for our secondary. I thought the secondary did such a great job of really they spent the whole evening changing looks. They would show bump and then they would pull back. Sometimes they would stay up and bump. I can remember a couple of plays where Tavian was matched up on him and bumped him all the way down. It was so good. The ability to play physical, to play to capitalize on mistakes. If you're Coach Coles, I think you got to come in really to the middle part of the schedule feeling like you don't have to coach the basics anymore. It's just a matter of working on nuance. Those guys seem to have really figured some stuff out.
Well, you look over the last 17 seasons at Coach Warner's track record, and the teams that have been the best for him routinely put up around 300 yards rushing night after night after night. It feels like this team has the makings of that kind of squad as they tweak things. Feels like that's possible.
Yeah, I tell you what, Ben Klaus just doing such a good job following his lead blockers. We know that Gentry is going to be money in the bank when he gets his 4 or 5 carries a night, just a tough runner. And so those guys just developing, getting more confidence. And, and then you throw McDaniel in there as well. There's 3 guys back there outside of the quarterback run game that all are dangerous. And one thing that hasn't really happened yet, we haven't had any of the giant big runs broke free yet. They've been a lot of kind of grounded out, some bigger runs. But so one of these nights, there's going to be a night where there's going to be a couple long touchdown runs, and maybe tonight's the night.
And you look at it against this Viking team, Circle ran for over 300 yards last week. So those running backs got to be licking their chops, don't they?
Yeah, because we were discussing it on the way down here and before the game. Circle really struggled to run the football consistently against Buhler. And and Grant, that was last week, but if Circle is able to run the ball well against Winfield, I think that the table is set for Buhler to have a good night running the football as well.
Well, tonight, the 16th all-time game in this series. Buhler has won all 15 previous, dating back to 2010. And they've really dominated on the defensive side of the ball in this series. 11 times in the 15 meetings, they've allowed 10 points or fewer, 4 of those 10 being shutouts. They won 10-0 in a really defensive slugfest last year, and looking to continue with the momentum they picked up last week against Great Bend, coming in at 2-1 here tonight. Crusader football this season on HKFM, brought to you in part by Ad Astra Insurance, by Newfelt's Flooring, Daylight Donuts, by the Buhler Booster Club, and by Johnson Sheet Metal. We're back with more of our Midway Motors Drive to the Game after this on HKFM.
Of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Midway Motors in McPherson, Newton, Hutchinson, and Hillsboro for every mile of life. Next, we'll relive this day in Crusader history. 95.9 HKFM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dal Hunt with Buhler Dental Care. At Buhler Dental Care, we have great registered hygienists to help schedule your family for convenience. You will receive high-quality dental care and build a positive relationship with our experienced staff in a pleasant and reassuring atmosphere. We like to have some fun with you and get to know you while you spend time with us. So be sure to give us a call at 620-543-2768 or email us at drdalDDS@gmail.com. Buhler Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Agri Center in South Hutchinson has a wide range of new and used power sports and agricultural equipment. At Agri Center, our commitment is to deliver an outstanding experience. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will work with you every step of the way. Whether you're needing help and looking for your next Can-Am or New Holland tractor or skid steer, we can help with customization, service, and support. Stop in, give us a call, or visit our website, agricenter.us. Experience the Agri Center difference today.
At NexTech Wireless, it's wireless on your terms. You pick a 36, 24, or 18-month agreement and get a device on us like the iPhone 14 or the new Google Pixel 7. Stuck in a contract with your current provider? Switch now and get up to $1,000 per line. For more details, stop by your nearest NexTech Wireless location today or call or text our customer care team at 877-621-2600. NexTech Wireless, home on the range.
What makes Scooter's coffee amazing? Maybe it's our espresso drinks, like our signature hot, iced, or blended Carmelicious, made from the best coffee beans in the world, and tasty breakfast sandwiches, served fresh every day. Maybe it's the refreshment of our fruit smoothies in the summer, the coziness of a hot mocha in the winter, or maybe we want to put a smile on your face. Spoiler alert, all of the above. Start your day or top it off at Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
Scooter's Coffee in Hutchinson, McPherson, and Salina.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, back here in the Midway Motors Drive to the game, time for our This Day in Crusader History. We'll take you back to September the 22nd of 2006 in a 48-6 win at El Dorado. Quarterback Jason Davis threw 3 touchdowns in a win. Davis, of course, went on to throw for over 1,300 yards that season. 48-6 at El Dorado today in 2006. Modern day 2023, it's the Winfield Vikings who come in at 1-2, 0-1 in the league, and they lost to Circle on the road last week, 45-23. Their other loss came in week 2 at Coffeyville. They did beat Arc City in the Battle of the Cali Cup in week 1, 21-13. Of course, the Crusaders losing to Arc City in the last game of the season last year. Vikings 2-8 last year, but did advance to the second round of the playoffs where they lost to Andover Central. They won an overtime game with Wellington in that first round. And an interesting team over the years, not a team that really has been consistently successful, Christopher, but it always seems, at least like in this stadium, they play us very tough.
Yeah, I mean, and every team is different each year, but traditionally Winfield usually has a good running back or two. Quarterback play, they've always usually been able to throw somebody out there that has a decent arm. And yeah, and it's a long trek down here. And we talked a little bit about the stadium, but beautiful place.
Absolutely. More of our Midway Motors Drive to the game coming up here momentarily. Thoughts from Coach, and we'll check in with our field conditions as well. You're listening to Crusader Football on HKFM.
Drive to the game. Stay tuned for tonight's kickoff conditions. And Aaron West sits down for a pregame chat with head coach Steve Warner. 95.9 HKFM. The Buhler Crusaders play here.
This is Annette with Annette KF Insurance. Inflation is hitting us hard, so it's a good time to review the cost and coverage of your auto and homeowners insurance. As an independent agent, I represent Goodville Mutual and several other fine companies. Stop by Annette Epp Insurance in Hutchinson at 2500 North Main, Suite E, or call 620-662-4900.
If you're an athlete of any age, in any sport, you want to perform at your best. And you can't if you're hampered by aches and pains. Dr. Cecilia Hinton at Prairie Star has extensive training in sports medicine. She has your back, your hip, your knee, whatever's causing you problems. Dr. Hinton is on your side and ready to help you at Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
And welcome back on our Midway Motors Drive to the game here from Winfield tonight. Coach, this is the halfway mark of this. We say this every year, how fast it goes, but it just does.
It's unbelievable. We've already played 3 games, and we're at the halfway of the regular season. That is just crazy. Game 4 already. Wow. It goes so fast.
Another opportunity to watch these kids play. We talked about it during the coaches show on Monday night. Just what a good group this has been for you, and how hard they're playing, and how hard they're working to get better and supporting each other. Without a doubt, they're working hard, and we're loving every minute of it. They're fun to be around. They've been very coachable at practice, and every practice, you don't dread going because they're giving you all their effort, and they're working hard, and just fun to talk to, and we have a good time. And I mentioned in the radio show too about the celebration after the game. That was a lot of fun because the kids were excited. It was just such a big win for us, and I know they want to get back in that locker room after this game and have a big celebration too. Yeah, I noticed it in the stands. A lot of times, the game's over and people clear out pretty quickly and want to get out of the park. But people hung around on Friday night. Oh, it was a huge win. I think everybody wanted to be a part of it and see the kids and talk to the kids. And everybody, after last year struggling and going 4-5, I think everybody's just excited to see us back to playing the way that we feel like we should be playing. And there's a lot of excitement in the air. This Winfield team, interesting. Always seem to play us tougher at their place than they do at our place, and there's been some battles on the road with them. I'm expecting a battle tonight. Our kids, need to be ready, and they've got a good defensive front. They do a lot of different things on offense. They've got some speed with running backs. The quarterback's not as elusive as what we saw last week, but he throws the short routes really well.
So we're going to have to get to him and get pressure on him and have good coverage from our D-backs. But we need to get ahead early and just keep the gas pedal down and just keep pounding the football down their throat and have fun doing it.
Yeah, it seems like they've kind of adopted a little bit of the identity of their head coach and becoming just a really physical, right-at-you type of football team.
That's what they're trying to do, and then we want to answer with what we love to do, the old school football coach that we have here.
Yeah. Just smash it right through their line.
Right, for sure.
Hey, it worked pretty well against Great Bend.
It did. We controlled the clock, we controlled the game, and now we just want to finish those long drives against Winfield. And it's something, if we can start doing it, then it just happens all the time. And I told the kids before the Great Bend game that we're just so close to having a really, really good football team, and we took that step, and now we've got to prove it, and we've got to do things right and have long, sustained drives, and our defense just be flying around like we always do.
Yeah, those differences between being a good football team and being a team that can contend for a state title, probably not very big differences, but they sure matter.
They do matter, and a lot of it is just the fundamentals that are coached. We've got to pick up the fundamentals, and that makes a difference too, because down the road that you're going to need those fundamentals when you're blocking somebody that's pretty good or a team that blitzes a lot. And if we do our fundamentals right, we can pick them up.
So, obviously, every week we talk about, keys to the game. Turnovers. Hey, we won the turnover battle last week.
Finally.
So, been needing that for a while.
We really have. And we were +1 and only had the ball on the ground had the ball on the ground twice and lost one of them. But that's good, and we want to continue to improve on that, because the years that we were really good, it seemed like we were always, positive in that. And last year we were like -11 or 12, so that you could tell that definitely affected us.
All right, looking forward to the game tonight, Coach. Thanks as always. We'll talk to you after.
Thank you.
That's words from Coach Steve Warner. We're back with more right after this.
Just ahead on the Midway Motors Drive to the Game, we'll preview other action around the league, and Chris gives you his 3 keys to victory. Midway Motors, for every mile of life. The Buhler Crusaders play on 95.9 HKFM.
Newfeld's Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
A lot has changed in the past 60-plus years, but Dick's Phillips 66 has been there through it all to keep you on the road. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station on East 4th and Hutch. Every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Hey fans, this is Rachel Nelson. It's game time and I Need a Cleaners can help you look like a winner. Spend your valuable time prepping for the game, not doing laundry. Keep your knit polos and khaki pants looking great. For the winning look, stop by I Need a Cleaners, 13th and Main in Hutchinson.
With U.S. Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines. So you don't need that robot daughter you built to get a 4th line for family plan pricing.
Oh, Rogue Elizabeth? She's not gonna like that.
The robots will prevail.
Oh boy.
Get the low rate of $19.99 per line. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
We value human connection with fewer distractions. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Visit your U.S. Cellular authorized agent with locations in McPherson and Hutchinson.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here from Jant Stadium in Winfield, the Crusaders and the Vikings coming up tonight. And set through enough scorchers early in the season, Matthew, to really appreciate tonight. It is fantastic out there.
Oh, it's beautiful. Game time temperature going to be right around 80 degrees. A little bit of a breeze out of the south at 13 miles an hour, but it's awesome. Sun is set down behind the theater, right behind you guys up in the press box. And a really pleasant evening on the visitor side of not staring into the sun. Really couldn't be a more beautiful evening here tonight in Winfield.
I'm very happy for you.
I can tell that you were really torn up about it, so I appreciate the generosity that I sense from your spirit tonight.
Yes, coming in the league standings, both Mulvane and Buhler at 1-0. McPherson also 1-0. Circle 1-1, Winfield 0-1, and Augusta 0-2. Around the league tonight, Goddard at Arc City, El Dorado at Augusta, McPherson at Circle. Anybody have any reason not to pick Mac in that matchup?
Well, Mac has played some tough opponents. I mean, they played Great Bend, they played Junction City. It's a little bit different level of competition than what Circle's faced. So, I mean, I'd be shocked if Mac didn't roll. I think it's going to be more like the MAC Augusta game and less like the MAC Great Bend and Junction games.
But a guy can hope.
Yeah. We'll see. Of course, saw Circle 2 weeks ago. We'll see MAC coming up at the end of the year. Collegiate of Clearwater. Maybe the game of the night in the state tonight is Andover Central at Eisenhower. Both those teams ranked in their respective classes. Mulvane at Rose Hill, Andale, Smoky Valley, and Labette County, Wellington. Elsewhere on the network tonight, we'll keep you updated in our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard as Sterling is at Inman, Trinity Catholic at Ellenwood, Victoria at Central Plains, Andale and Smoky Valley, Pretty Prairie at Bound Ridge, McPherson at Circle, Haven at Lyons, and Fairfield is at Central Christian. Pewter and Winfield tonight for the 16th time, and I'm anticipating maybe a quick clock tonight. Two teams that like to run the football. You heard Coach talk about it, though. Winfield, they will utilize that short passing game, try and get guys out on the edge in space, and I can't imagine our guys won't be ready for that.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the more Winfield passes tonight, that's going to be dictated by the fact if Bueller just completely clogs up the line of scrimmage like I think Bueller has the opportunity to do tonight.
Be home for two after this one. Mulvane and Augusta coming up the next 2 Fridays, and then we'll wrap up the following 2 regular season dates on the road, the 13th and 19th of October. Tell you what, we'll take our final time out. Come back, Chris has his keys, and we'll find out who wins that opening toss. We'll do that next. Crusader Football, brought to you in part by Farm Bureau agent Steve Curtin, by Heston Bakery and Cafe, Idea Tech by Dr. Travis Gillespie, and by Inman Funeral Home. More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game next on HKFM.
And time to go to your happy place. Your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts are open in 2 great locations to help you get your morning started off on the right foot. Pine cones, fritters, long johns, twists, cake donuts, and of course the classic glazed donuts, and many others waiting for you with either an ice cold milk or a freshly brewed hot coffee. Made from scratch each morning at 1435 East 30th and 305 North Main Street. 2 great locations with the best donuts in town to help you start your day. Online at HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com.
Have a smile you want. Come and see us today. We have time for you. Open Friday and Saturday.
Hi, I'm Dr. J. You can have the healthy, beautiful smile you deserve. Come see me today at Hutchinson Family Dental.
Dr. J. Stuckey. Hutchinson Family Dental.
Hi, this is Mamie Coldren with the Bueller Booster Club. The Booster Club supports student activities and athletics at Bueller High School. Be sure to follow the Crusader Closet and Booster Club on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for events and new Crusader apparel arrivals. The Crusader Closet is open at most home athletic events. If you would like to be a member, please reach out to us on our Facebook page. Thank you for the continued support from our generous donors.
Hi, it's Aaron West, voice of the Crusaders. Ad Astra Radio is a proud Bueller Booster Club member.
At People's Bank and Trust, we look forward to helping you through the many stages of life. From your first checking account to your retirement account, we've helped generations of families buy their first home, finance their vehicles, and plan for the future. People's Bank and Trust delivers safe, sound, and reliable banking. Let us put our experience to work for you and your family. If you're looking for more from your bank, we invite you to see the People's Difference. People's Bank and Trust. Relationships matter. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Crusader Football on HKFM.
Well, back here from Jant Stadium in Winfield, want to say good luck this weekend to our cross-country team as they travel to Rimrock. Big meet this weekend. Tennis has action tomorrow. It's collegiate, and all of our volleyball squads also. Freshmen will be hosting their invite at Jim Baker, and the varsity goes to Newton. Good luck to those guys. This weekend had a chance to be part of our Laps for Learning with our grade schoolers at Union Valley today, and those kiddos raised over $36,000.
That's awesome. I know that's a day having students at Union Valley the kids look forward to all year long, and they had a beautiful day, and lots of great sponsors and people that kicked in to help make that event successful.
All right, Christopher, let's as Winfield shows up in the stadium here, let's talk about some keys to the game.
I think the 3 big keys, number 3, forcing Winfield to pass. This year, Winfield has more attempts than Rush, as they're 54-46 on the pass and running attempts, but they tend to throw the football more when they're down, so hopefully you're going to see lots of passing attempts from Winfield, because that means that Buhler stuffed them at the line of scrimmage. Number 2, the fact that Buhler is undefeated against Winfield, all-time 15-0. Anytime you have a big record like that against somebody, you don't want them to feel like this year's any different. So if Buhler can establish a quick lead, make them feel like, hey, this is just like previous years, that's to Buhler's advantage. And I think the final big key, Buhler having a clean game. It's week 4. Try to have that game with where we win the turnover battle and really limit penalties, and have that game that the coaching staff and the kids can go into Saturday morning feeling really good about how everything transpires.
The Vikings will be in their home blue tops and blue pants with blue helmets, black pants, white tops, and the black helmets for the Crusaders, just like tonight's teams on the field. I Need a Cleaners can help you look like a winner with expert dry cleaning and a professional shirt service. I Need a Cleaners, it's where to take your clothes. Coach Steve Warner in his 17th season at 149 and 49, looking for his 150th win as a Crusader. He won number 270 overall last week. And what a career he's had with the state title. Monty Lewis in his 3rd season with the Vikings at 7 and 16. Let's go down to the field.
Have some fun, play some football, respect each other, respect the officials, all right? And let's have a fun night of football, okay? All right, you guys are going to be the visitors. You're going to make the call, okay? What's your call going to be? Heads. Heads is the call. So this is our tails. This is our heads. Again, heads, tails, heads is the call. And it is tails. You've won the toss. So what would you like to do? They want to receive the football. You're going to defend, and you're going to kick north. So we're going to spin around just like that.
Well, guys, Winfield has won the toss. They want the ball, so Buhler will kick from the south to the north. Just as a reminder, that wind blowing from the south here this evening, so Buhler will be kicking to Winfield with the wind.
So we'll see that Black Knight defense first, giving up 15 points a game through 3 games on the year. And starting lineups brought to you by Heartland Wealth Strategies, located inside Heartland Credit Union at 29th and Main in Hutchinson. Contact Monty Cross at 669-0177. In that famous Coles 4-3 defense. At the ends, Austin Savoy and Brendan Skripsick, Cash Carson and Bodie Redenbaugh at the tackles. The linebackers Gazaway and Will Hainan on the outside. Hainan with 36 tackles. He's tied with the Mike linebacker for the most. Braden Gentry on the season. In the secondary, Brady Gotti, Jeremy Gentry. The safeties, corners, Tavian Gilliam and Mitchell McDaniel. Also see a lot of Jared Miller in that secondary. Tonight, other key defensive players include Blake Hageman up on the line. So this Buhler defense looked so good last week, and a test against a very physical Viking team tonight, who brings back their quarterback from a year ago in Landon Duprat, a senior. Faced the Crusaders in that 10-0 loss last year. He'll have Cale Lindenman and Cole Wegeman in the backfield. The key receivers to talk about include Evan Hutto. Hunter Reyes is their leading receiver, Drew Graham and Christian Tovar. It'll be Dawson Valdoy to kick off from the 40-yard line here at Jant Stadium, this on the campus of Southwestern College in Winfield, and a north-south field. So Dawson will be kicking toward the north. So one of our favorite, I think, settings, just the backdrop with the trees and the landscaping. Here at this old limestone stadium, just fantastic.
Yeah, Southwestern College has a really beautiful campus, and yeah, a very unique setting. We're so used to the only hills we have are sand hills, so a little bit more impressive topography down here.
All right, Valdoy's kick as we are underway. End over end to the 11-yard line. It'll be returned to the 20, 25, 30, and running to the right side, Winfield sideline across the 30 is the return man up near the 34-yard line. And so decent field position here to start for the Vikes.
Cash Carson making the special teams tackle there for Buhler out the gate.
Just underway, KWHK Hutchinson Crusader football. Aaron West, Chris Shegg, Matt Atherton with you. Don't forget, we're also running video tonight with our friends at the Crusader Sports Network. If you look up their page on YouTube, you can watch the game from wherever you are at this evening. From their own 34, Vikings with Duprat, 1st and 10. He'll be out of the gun with 2 backs offset in the backfield. A pitch to the far side. And a run across the 35. A flag comes out. That is Cale Lindenman, the tailback, who gets across the 35 and up to the 38-yard line, but there is a flag on the far side of the field.
Yeah, Jeremy Gentry made the stop. He was a little bit high on the tackle before that flag was thrown. It looks like it's probably going to be a hold against Winfield.
Yeah, it's on number 8. He was certainly arguing with the official having nothing of it.
So that is the fullback, Cole Wegeman, blocking on the outside for Lindenman. And he'll be whistled for the flag. First penalty of the night on the Vikings. Will push the ball back to the 24-yard line and make it first and 20. Boy, that is tough for a running team coming at a 1st and 20 situation.
Get behind on schedule. Be prepared for Winfield to air it out here.
So the Vikings will come to the line. They'll keep Dupras in the gun. They go spread this time with a single back set. Receiver in motion. 4 receivers in the sweep. Left to right. They'll hand it off around the outside edge across the 25. And that sweep for the Vikings is Kellen Gibson. And he gets a little bit of that penalty yardage back up across the 25 to the 27.
Ty Goins was the near side defensive end. Nearly stopped him for a loss, but he was able to break out of the tackle. And like you said, gained back a few of those yards to make up second, but still a long ways.
Mentioned that Hanan and Gentry, the 2 experienced linebackers leading this team in tackles on the year, each with 36. Second out at 17 from the right hash mark of the 27-yard line. 10:50 to go, first period, and no score. And it's a fullback handoff, trying the inside run against this Black Knight defense. And boy, if you circled one thing that Buehler has been good at over the years, it's been stopping the interior run, and no gain there on the play.
Yeah, Skripsic and Hanan teaming up for the double team tackle that time, and now Winfield with an obvious passing situation. So let's see if that front 4 can bring the heat, and the secondary knows they're going to get challenged here.
Buehler did win the turnover battle for the first time this year last week. They're defensively down with 3 picks. They had 2 last week. Gilliam had 1, and Skripsic, the defensive end, the other. 3rd and long, and Dupras out of the gun on 3rd and 17. Going to throw over the middle of the field. It is caught, but short of the first down. Across the 40 up to the 42-yard line. Nice throw and catch, but about 2 yards shy of that first down stick.
Nice tackle made in space that time for the Crusaders by Jared Miller. And yeah, a great tackle in space. It looks like Winfield might be going for it here potentially. You know, they took the ball right out the huddle, or out of the opening kickoff, so let's see what Coach Lewis decides to do.
Christian Tovar made that catch over the middle there, but 2 yards shy of first down. Teams against the Crusaders in this situation this year are 20% successful on the 4th down. So they're going to go for it on the 4th and 2. It's a quarterback sneak, and Dupras is going to be right at the stick. I think he's got enough for the first down.
Yeah, Will Hanan was in there to make the stop, but Dupras had a little bit of a seam to the right-hand side and had enough to get the first down.
Guys, that is a very gutsy call by the Winfield coaching staff in their own end of the field. I think they have no intention of giving the ball back to Buehler.
So move the sticks. First down for the Vikings, going left to right here in this opening period from the right hash mark of the 44-yard line. This drive that started back at their own 34. They had a penalty, made up 10 yards in penalty yardage. Dupras out of the gun with 2 backs split left and right. And right side run. Ball comes out at the end of it. Lindenman lost it at the 35, and I believe it's going to be recovered by the Crusaders.
Yeah, great job. Skripsic stripped it on the tackle. Cash Carson comes up with the loose football. So we talked about winning the turnover battle. Buehler right now 1-0 on the turnover side. Great job by the Black Knight defense.
So recovered by the Crusaders. That's going to give them a short field with 8:49 to play in the first. Buehler's going to start at the Winfield 35-yard line. 1st and 10. First fumble recovery this year for the Black Knight defense. In that I formation, and they'll hand it off. It's the fullback Gentry, who ran so well last week, right up the middle, forward progress to the 31-yard line. Gentry last week was just a beast. He had 7 carries for 39 yards.
Yeah, great hard run that time in the interior. Vargas, one of the defensive ends, had to go upfield and then try to make a tackle from the backside to make the stop after a 5-yard gain.
Break out of the huddle in the eye. Jeffrey Neal, the senior quarterback, who threw for just 5 yards last week but ran the ball well. They stay in the eye with a too tight set and a nice run right side. First down across the 25 and up to the 20-yard line. And I believe that was Klaus on the carry, and it's a First National Bank first down. Career best for Ben Klaus last week, 21 carries, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
One of the stats that really jumps off the page about Ben Klaus, he's averaging 6 yards a carry, which as a high school running back, if you can keep that up, you're going to have a very successful career.
Picked up 10 there. The other back we'll talk about tonight is Mitchell McDaniel. Key receivers, Tavian Gilliam, Quentin Paisano, Ty Goins at the tight end. 2 receivers left. They put Neal in the gun on 1st and 10 from the 21. Klaus, the single back to his right. Jeff throws left and throws high and incomplete, intended for the second tight end, Skripczyk, on the left side. Offensively up front, the tackles, Savoy and Hageman, Redenbaugh and Parsons are the guards, and Tanner Brown the center. And trying to feed the tight end there to the left, just a little high on that throw, and it's second down.
Yeah, just a little out route that time, like you said, a little bit high. The Winfield defender was able to hit Skripczyk right as the ball arrived.
All right, it'll be second down and 10, 2 receivers right, including Tavian Gilliam split out far to the right side of the field. They stay in the eye. Jeff Neal will take the snap with 7:40 on the first quarter clock. Back to the tailback. Klaus gets across the 20, and then he is pile driven to the turf. And so a gain of only 1 yard, and Buter looking at a 3rd down and 9 here early in this game.
That was a fantastic open field tackle made that time by Winfield's number 8, Cole Wageman.
I think it'll be interesting here depending on how much yardage they get. Certainly could be in 4-down territory. It might also be an opportunity for Dawson Valdoy to work on his field goal kicking game. We'll see what comes up here. Officials have called a timeout on the field.
It's interesting because Bueller broke the huddle. Is at the line of scrimmage. I don't know what.
They were swapping balls.
Gotcha.
7:08 to play here. No score. First drive of the game after a fumble. Stripped by Skripczyk. Recovered by the Crusaders. This drive starting from the Winfield 35. 3rd down and 9 at the 20. And they'll keep it on the ground with Klaus. And that's going to be an obvious penalty as a high tackle, and that's going to be a face mask on the Vikings in the backfield.
Yeah, as Eric Vargas went upstairs, and that definitely will be a 15-yarder as he completely spun Ben Klaus down to the turf.
Boy, Klaus came up pretty irritated. I would be too. That looked painful, didn't it, guys?
Yeah. It was a pretty violent snap, and but sometimes you can't. You don't have that great vantage point to see that, but from up here we had a perfect view of that penalty. Second penalty of the night of the Vikings. It'll give the Crusaders a first down at the 10, and so it's going to be 1st and goal on the penalty at the 10-yard line. No score, 6:44 to play in the opening quarter. Out of the I formation, Jeff will give it to Klaus in an inside run to the right, and a yard across the 10 to the 9. We'll give this Viking team credit on those interior runs here early. They've been very physical.
Yeah, that time it was Mac Morin making the stop. He's the far side defensive end. And yeah, no, Winfield's making Bueller work for those yards inside. Basically, the biggest run was probably Braden Gentry's fullback run right at the beginning.
Vikings giving up 24 points defensively on average, and they've kind of been a little bit of everything. Defense week 2, they were a 4-man front. Week 3, a 3-man front. Here's Klaus again, who breaks out of an ankle tackle in the backfield into the end zone. He spins his way for 6. 6:01 to play in the first. Touchdown, Crusaders.
Great job by Klaus that time. Looked like a little crossbuck action. Faked the fullback going to the left, and Klaus took the handoff to the right. And had some contact he had to run through, but great job keeping his balance, keeping the shoulder pads square, and chugging across that goal line for the first score of the night.
Talked about the physicality of the Viking defense. Those were hard yards, too. Bueller with the face mask penalty that kept that drive alive, and now Dawson Valdoy will come on for the extra point attempt out of a hold of Carter Jones at the 10. And the kick is up low, but good. 6:01 remaining in the first. Bueller on top first. 7-0 from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Crusader football on HKFM.
project or a complete fabrication project done, call Johnson Sheet Metal or stop by 512 South Main in Hutchinson, where we have been in business for over 100 years. We stock over 60 different sheets and 70 different shapes in steel, stainless, galvanized, and aluminum. We can cut to size, bend, roll, punch, or weld to your specifications. We can make your ag replacement panels too. Johnson Sheet Metal in Hutchinson.
Even when you know the end is near, saying goodbye can be difficult. Hospice and Home Care of Reno County can help your family. Focus on making the time you have left the best it can be, whether it's at home, in a nursing facility, or in the comfortable atmosphere of Hospice House. The hospice staff will help guide you through those difficult decisions. Hospice and Home Care of Reno County, your local not-for-profit agency, serving a 50-mile radius of Hutchinson, a member of Hutchinson Regional Healthcare System.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, a 7-play, 35-yard drive to put Buhler on top first. 7-0, and now Valdoyle will kick off for the second time in this game from the 40-yard line. Vikings have 3 return men standing all inside the 5-yard line. And in the end zone, it'll be taken for a touchback. Caught in the end zone by Kellen Gibson. Vikings will bring it out for their second series. Not able to find success on their first series, although they did convert on that 4th down, but then the fumble. And boy, so nice last week that we won that turnover battle.
Yep.
That's just so important, every time out that you're on the right side of that number.
Yeah, well, that drive for Winfield got off to the rough start with the penalty, and then it ended with the turnover. So let's see if the Crusaders can yet again stymie Winfield.
From their own 20, they go with a 4-receiver set. They'll put a receiver in motion. Dupras out of the gun, throws near side, almost picked off. Almost picked off on this near side for the Crusaders by linebacker Jacob Miller. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Miller that time was breaking out to the flat and kind of got caught off kilter, but at least got his hands on it and helped to force the incompletion with the tip.
You know, those guys in that front 7, they don't get a chance to catch the ball all that often.
Yeah, well, and because you're so close to the quarterback, I mean, it's coming out hot, and typically, you've got run support duties first and foremost, so tough to get your bearings getting ready for the pass.
You notice, look how many guys Buhler has up in the box now. 2nd down and 10 at the 25. Dupras is going to pitch late to the right side, and a great defensive play by Mitchell McDaniel as he runs up to meet the running back on the play. No gain. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Well, that time, great job by Jacob Miller. He forced the quarterback to make the pitch, and McDaniel had the pitch man defended well, and so now Winfield is in danger of going 3 and out after 2 quick, unsuccessful downs.
Boy, if you can't run inside and you can't run outside, that makes it tough to move the football.
Well, now they're in a situation where the Buhler secondary and D-line knows Winfield's going to throw, and so it makes it a lot easier to play defense.
Vikings 0 for 1 on the 3rd down. Here in this series, a hot throw over the middle, short of the first down stick. The ball is caught, but the receiver paid for it. And that is Drew Graham, who catches it over the middle at the 28, but he was taken down hard after that catch.
Yeah, they ran a quick slant over the middle. Brady Gotti delivered a blow. Perfect timing, hit him right as the ball arrived and stopped him short. And looks like Winfield, let's see if they go for it.
Well, in a similar situation, a similar part of the field, they went for it last time. Looks like they're set up to go for it again on 4th down with trips right. And a quick kick coming from Dupras. It's blocked at the line of scrimmage. Did Redenbaugh get a hand on that football?
Actually, I don't think it was blocked, Aaron. It was just shanked off the side of the kicker's foot. It was the quarterback did the little pooch kick and was trying to get rid of it really quick.
Just not a great not a great kick by the quarterback Dupras. And for a second state time here in this first quarter, Buhler's going to have fantastic field position. They're going to start this drive at the Winfield 37-yard line.
Absolutely beautiful field position for the Crusaders here.
Left hash mark out of the I formation. Single receivers either side. This is Klaus on the handoff again, and he'll be tackled at the line of scrimmage for no gain. I'll give that Viking front credit, as I mentioned in the previous drive. They've made the yards that Ben has gotten here in this first quarter tough.
Yeah, we visited with some of the people from Winfield before the game. They talked about how Circle really kind of ran the ball at will against Winfield. You can tell that they made that a huge point of emphasis this week to stop Bueller's rushing attack.
Well, they've gone back to a 4-man front tonight. They ran a 3-man, a 3-3 against Circle. Bueller goes now with 2 wingbacks. They'll bring a wingback in motion and pitch it. That's Miller, and he has little success right to left. At far side wing, Jacob Miller got the pitch and only gets another yard or so up to the 35.
So now Bueller with a 3rd and long. They don't have to get it all right here, as the Crusaders would be in 4-down territory most likely. So be interesting to see what Coach Warner and the crew dials up here on 3rd and long.
Quentin Paisano is going to rotate in with the play at receiver. He's split to the far side. Bueller's going to stay in the eye here on 3rd down and 8 from the 35. Leading 7-0. Rolling out to his right. And Jeffrey Pumpfrakes now lets go as he hit, and it's almost caught. Paisano was wide open. Jeffrey got all he could on it as he was hit as he let that go. And boy, maybe Paisano, recognizing late, didn't come back to the ball quick enough and just off his fingertips.
Yeah, it was underthrown a little bit, but as a receiver, the instant the ball goes in the air, your route becomes where's the ball? And so that time, like you said, I think he just misjudged that it was going to be underthrown a little bit, just couldn't get there. But Bueller looking like we're going to go for it here on this 4th and 8.
And unfortunately, like I said, Jeffrey being hit as he let go of the football. And so it'll be 4th down and 8 at the 35. They'll put Neal out of the gun, trips right, single receiver to the near side. Klaus to the left to the quarterback. Jeffrey with time, throws, goes downfield. It is McDaniel who catches it into the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders against 3 defenders, and Mitchell McDaniel comes down with a football.
That time it was just a skinny post route. McDaniel right near the goal line had to batter away a couple different Winfield defenders at the goal line, was able to haul it in and make an athletic play there for, I believe, his first passing touchdown of the year.
Yes. That is just his 3rd catch of the season.
You know, you don't usually throw the jump ball to the shortest receiver on the field. Mitchell did a great job catching that at the apex of his jump.
So a 35-yard touchdown pass from Jeff Neal to Mitchell McDaniel. That's Jeffrey's first touchdown pass of the year. And now Valdoy able to get the kick up, and it is no good. And
got blocked at the line of scrimmage.
Viking front gets through quickly. 3:06 to play in the first. Now 13-0 Crusaders lead here over the Vikings from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
For protection in the pocket. In Hutchinson, you can count on me, Farm Bureau agent Steve Curtin, to protect your family's blind side no matter what life throws at you. I'm here to handle all your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. Don't scramble around working with multiple insurance companies. Talk to Farm Bureau agent Steve Curtin today and see how I can help protect what matters most.
Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company.
At First Bank Kansas, our trusted professionals take time to get to know you personally and learn what matters for your business. With so much uncertainty in life, you need to be able to trust that your finances are in the hands of someone who understands you. At First Bank Kansas, we make local loan decisions so we can find a solution to fit your needs. Visit any of our locations in Salina, Ellsworth, McPherson, Abilene, Lindsborg, or Hutchinson to experience banking made personal. Because at First Bank Kansas, it's not just business, it's personal. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, we've already seen both teams convert on 4th down in this first half. 13-0 Crusaders in a 4-play 37-yard touchdown drive. And Valdoy will kick off back behind the 5-yard line, return to far side of the field, up the left hash across the 20 and to about the 23-yard line. Boy, both coaches willing to go for it here early in this game and doing some gambling, and a nice reception in the end zone by Mitchell McDaniel.
Well, we do drive by the Kansas Star on the way down here, so maybe that's just in the air here in south central Kansas, but good special teams tackle made that time by Cruz Hershberger along with Quentin Pisano.
Vikings will have it from their own 23, 1st and 10 from the left hash mark, going left to right. They'll come to the line with right at 15 on the play clock, 3 minutes on the first quarter clock. 2 receivers to the right side. They'll pitch it to the lone setback behind Dupras. And nothing there right at the 20-yard line for Dane Chatham. No gain.
Great job that time by Nick Gazaway, who's the outside linebacker here in the play side. Came through and was able to wrap him up for the loss. And so Winfield again begins another drive in the hole.
Yeah, lost 3 yards back to the 20 in that pitch to Chatham. Clock running at 2:30 to go in the first quarter. Lights on here at Giant Stadium. And the Vikings to the line. They'll put Dupras in the gun with the tailback to his right, 2 receivers right, 1 left. And the senior quarterback wants to throw complete to the near side and caught across the 25-yard line. Dupras is 3 for 3 in the passing game so far, but defense has done a good job of keeping the ball in front of him.
Yeah, that time, even though the tackle was not made by Jared Miller, Braden Gentry came flying out there and was able to deliver a blow. And so Winfield with another 3rd and long, although Winfield most likely will be going for it based on the last 2 possessions.
They're 0 for 2 on the 3rd down. The ball stopped at the 28, sets up a 3rd down and 5. Landon Dupras stays out of the gun with the running back to his right. Pump fakes, now goes down the field and overthrows his intended target just across the 50 with Brady Gotti in coverage. That was intended for Hunter Reyes. It's 4th down.
Fantastic job by Gotti not biting on the pump fake. They do the pump fake to try to get the D-back to try to break off and try to make a play on the ball. Gotti wasn't having it, and great job as the Crusaders force a 3 and out, and we're going to get to see Winfield go a traditional punt formation here.
Vikings will punt the ball away this time. It is Evan Hutto who gets it away with the right foot. It bounces near the Crusader 45. It'll be down by a Viking at the 44. You're looking at the 44-yard line in 3 drives. That's Buehler's worst starting field position.
That's what I was about to say. Matt, you're actually going to have to move down the field a little bit to follow the ball for the first time tonight.
I know. I've kind of just been standing in the same spot. The whole game has taken place really between about the 45-yard line and the end zone. So it's really hard. It's crazy when you say just across midfield is their worst field position of the night.
At the 44, 1st and 10, they'll come out of the I formation. Jeffrey Neal under center. Klaus is the tailback, wants to throw on 1st down. One-on-one coverage to the far side. Another great catch made over there. A tight coverage across the 30 up to the 28. It's McDaniel again.
And that was such a well-thrown ball. Jeffrey stepped into it. It was spiraling perfectly, and McDaniel won the outside leverage. He put it right over his shoulder, caught it, and 1st down for Buehler.
28 yards on the catch from Jeff Neal to Mitchell McDaniel down to the the Viking 28-yard line. And another First National Bank 1st down. The first is for you out of the I formation. Fullback handoff up the middle and plenty of room across the 20 and down to the 19-yard line. Maybe biggest run of the night by the Crusaders. Is that Gazaway?
That was Nick Gazaway that time. He did a spin right at the end, so I thought for a second it was Gentry, but Gazaway with a good downhill run there.
Nick Gazaway gets the carry. Just his 4th of the season. Came in with 3 rushes for 11 yards. Gets 9 there. It'll be 2nd and 1 with the clock running under a minute in the first quarter. Buehler up 13-0. He'll pitch it to the tailback to the near side. And it is Klaus who gets it up for the 1st down up to the 16. Move the sticks. Another First National Bank 1st down. How about, we talked about all these tailbacks, and well, let's send one of them out to wide receiver, and McDaniel's got 2 big passes in this half.
Well, he's got the quickness that, man, he's going to be a tough matchup with some of those corners.
All right, 31 seconds on the first quarter's broadcast booth on HKFM.
Heston Bakery and Cafe welcomes you for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything in between. They have an assortment of sandwiches, salads, soups, baked goods, specialty coffees, and desserts. Open 7 days a week, located in Heston. It's a convenient, comfortable space to meet friends and family. Ask about the catering options, too. Find them online at HestonBakeryandCafe.com to view the menu or order online.
Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located on the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine and Hutch, would like you to meet the team.
Hi, this is Dave Sisler, and I've probably sold you a car. I love what I do, and I thank you all for letting me take care of you. If you're in the market or just want to see options, visit me today at the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine. We always have a great selection of vehicles on our lot and finance options as well, no matter your credit situation. I look forward to seeing you soon. And as Mr. Samuel always says,
come by, let's be friends.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, 20-0 with 20 seconds left on the first quarter clock. Crusader football brought to you in part this year by Gust Orthodontics, by Dix Phillips 66, Prairie Land Partners, by Ag 360 Insurance, and by the Bakery House and Catering. And the kickoff by Valdoy into the end zone. Vikings will start at their own 20. So we've seen a couple of big pass plays by the Crusaders. And how about that last run by Gazaway? That was nice.
Just a good hard run on the interior. You know, Bueller's had some success running the fullbacks tonight. And, yeah, now Winfield really with their backs up against the wall. We're not even to the end of the quarter, and Bueller's got a 3-score lead.
Well, now you know why Lewis was going for it early. Those fourth downs, you can't afford to get down 3 touchdowns in this scenario. It'll be Duprat out of the gun, single setback to his right, and he'll throw near side. He has an interesting delivery, but he's now 4 for 4, and that ball caught up near a first down and moved the sticks at the 31, a gain of 11.
Yeah, that time it was caught here on the near side by the receiver, Drew Graham. And he spread it around. He's had multiple different people make catches this evening.
Guys, interesting, except for that long incompletion up the right sideline, everything's been short, little dink and dump into the flat.
Yeah, the ball almost comes sideways out of his hand. It's an interesting delivery. Now they go with a stacked eye on first down here, 13 on the clock, and the ball comes out near the line of scrimmage. And who has it? Looks like
Jacob Miller.
The Crusaders get it back. Second fumble, second turnover of the night on the Vikings.
Yeah, they went with the Maryland eye that time, where you have 3 running backs behind the quarterback, and ball came out loose, and Jacob Miller came flying off the edge and picked it up. And now the Crusaders 2-0 in the turnover department, with a chance to go up 4 scores potentially here to close out the quarter.
You guys taking a shot right here with the wind?
I think so.
I think so too. Mitchell's one-on-one on this side of the field.
From the Viking 29 with 9 seconds on the clock, Jeff wants to throw one-on-one McDaniel, and that's going to be a penalty as the defensive back covering on the far side bumped McDaniel out of bounds before the ball got to him.
Just bellied up to him. He had his hands up and just kind of chest bumped him out of bounds. The thing in high school, though, that's not a bad penalty for Winfield because it's not a spot foul. So Bueller, if it was the NFL, the ball would be down there inside the 5, but Bueller only going to get 15 yards after that pass interference.
Does give him one more chance to make a play.
I don't know how in the world they only
took
quarter. 1 tick off the clock, fellas. There was 4 seconds left, if I remember correctly.
I think there were 9.
Okay. These big numbers, I can't count.
Moves the ball down to the 15, where it'll be 1st and 10 with 3 seconds on the clock. Jeff's going to be under center in the eye. Gilliam is the near side receiver. McDaniel matched up to the far side. They're going to give it to Gentry, the fullback, who blows through 2 tackles and almost gets into the end zone. Gets across the 5-yard line and down to the 3, where it's going to be 1st and goal when we start the second. Another First National Bank first down. Crusaders leading 20-0 as we get ready for quarter number 2 from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
Hi, this is James with IdeaTech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Bueller. IdeaTech is a proud supporter and the preferred internet provider of the Bueller Crusaders. As the Crusaders know, speed wins. We back up our lightning-fast internet with a customer-first philosophy. That means you will talk to a live person from our office in Bueller when you call in. If you're not already a customer, go to ideatech.com and click on Check Availability. Or you can call us at 620-543-5000 to inquire more about our services.
The Anchor Inn and Anchor Away have been serving authentic Mexican food to Hutchinson and surrounding communities for over 35 years. Treat friends and family to the Anchor's legendary dishes in their large banquet room, famous buffet, and relaxed atmosphere. Open Monday through Saturday. For the same great food with the convenience of a drive-thru, visit Anchor Away at B and Adams. Like Anchor Inn and Anchor Away on Facebook for specials. Anchor Inn and Anchor Away, authentically delicious in downtown Hutchinson.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, Bueller with just 7 total points in the first quarter in their first 3 games of the year, but 20 here tonight, and they have a chance to put a 4th score on the board as they are 1st and goal at the 3-yard line after a fantastic Braden Gentry run to end the first quarter.
Well, Bueller's given him a steady dose of fullback runs up the gut and then, long pass plays, and it's been a good mixture this evening for Bueller.
They go with 2 tight ends out of the eye on first and goal, and it'll be Klaus who is upended, and a flag comes out at the end of that play. 4 in progress, stopped at the 2.
Yeah, tackle made in the backfield that time by Mac Morin. We'll wait for the official signal from the white hat.
Seeing a hold down here. Yep,
they do call a hold, first penalty of the night, Matthew, on the Crusaders. They've been clean before that. They had 5 penalties last week. If anything has bitten this offense early in the year, it's been those holding penalties.
No doubt. So Bueller has it first and goal from the 12, so opens up the throwing ability a little bit.
They stay in the I formation. 2 receivers set now. And Jeff under center fakes the handoff. He's going to pitch to Klaus, trying to get to the edge. He'll get across the 10 to the left side, far side of the field, and driven out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. We'll see where they spot the ball here.
Nice job by Neal on the option that time. Made Wageman commit to tackling him, got the pitch out, and then Klaus just took it around the end, and good pickup on first down.
Yeah, got a good spot all the way up to the 7. And so it ends up being a gain of 5 yards on first down for the Crusaders. Second down and goal here, 11:31 to go in the half. Bueller leading 20-0. The ball at the 7-yard line.
I was going to say they had spotted the ball on the western hash when they went out of bounds right in front of you, Matt. So I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, I don't know why they walked it to the far hash. Just a little bit of confusion. Near side official, sideline judge just looked at me and said, because we goofed.
From the left side, out of the eye on second and goal. Here's Klaus running right. Breaks out of a jersey tackle and downed right at the goal line. They're going to say the ball broke the plane. Touchdown, Crusaders. 4th score of the night this time. Second run from 7 yards out by Ben Klaus.
Yeah, that time one of the Winfield defenders went high on the tackle, tried to sling him down to the turf with his jersey, but Klaus has enough power. He just kept the feet chugging along and was able to cross the goal line for Bueller's 4th TD of the night.
And guys, we talked about it last week. He runs very low behind his pads, makes it hard for people to arm tackle him.
All right, Valdoyle set up at the 10 for another PAT try. He is 3 for 4. He did have 1 blocked in the first quarter. And he'll get this one up and through. 11:23 now on the first half clock. All Crusaders so far here tonight, leading 26-0 over the Vikings. Crusader football from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
Kristen Gillespie, and when you come see Dr. Travis Gillespie at the Dental Center in Hutch, my husband and our staff will take the time to listen to your concerns and will give you the best options available for you and your family's needs. At the Dental Center in Hutch, we provide high-quality, state-of-the-art dental care in our comfortable and newly renovated office. We enjoy working with all ages of patients, especially the little ones. Don't you agree, girls?
Of course. Happy teeth for you and me. Come see our dad, Dr. Gillespie.
It's true. You see the APAC Kansas Incorporated Shears Division name on big construction equipment on many of the largest highway projects in Kansas. But Shears wants you to know they have smaller equipment for smaller jobs, like your residential driveway, parking lot, or other paving projects, asphalt, or concrete. And the other great thing, they take the same care and pride in your job as they take in every project. For more information and a no-obligation estimate, call APAC Kansas Incorporated Shears Division at 662-2112.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, back here from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth, Crusader football as Bueller kicks it off here. And it's going to be returned to the left sideline by the Vikings, right in front of their own sideline across the 25. They'll have a decent starting field position near the 32-yard line. They've converted a couple of 4th downs tonight, but that's about all their offense has to show for their efforts here in the first half.
Now, one difference. Winfield has the wind at their back for the first time tonight throwing the football, so it'll be interesting to see if that benefits them at all. I want to also mention a good special teams tackle made there by Carter Jones there on the kickoff for Bueller.
You know, Carter Jones also, that second, maybe the 3rd touchdown, had a fantastic hold on that point after.
From their own 27, Vikings 1st and 10. They go out of the eye with a receiver left to right in motion. play action. Dupras rolling out right, throws back over the middle. There were 3 Crusaders in the area. Jeremy Gentry was closest, but it falls at his feet, incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
A good job that time by Gazaway with the hurry, as Dupras needed to unload that, or he was going to be leveled right there in front of you, Matt.
Really, and a dangerous throw, because there were just an awful lot of white shirts surrounding where that ball landed. So obviously he's thinking about it.
Already 2 turnovers in this half, 2 fumbles by the Vikes tonight. 2nd and 10 at the 27. Dupras out of the gun. Running back set to his right. 2 receivers left. He's going to go that way and throws incomplete near the Crusader 45. Looking up this near sideline with Tavian Gilliam in coverage. Hunter Reyes in that throw took him out of bounds. Incomplete and 3rd down.
Yeah, Gilliam did just such a nice job of taking away the inside leverage, kind of forcing him off the route and taking away his inside hip pocket. And great job there by Jeremy Gentry, too, bracketing the coverage on the top side as well.
Vikings again find themselves in 3rd and long here with 11:08 to go in the half. 3rd and 10 from the 27. They go with 2 receivers left, 1 right. And Dupras out of the gun. They're going to
trickeration.
Pitch it to one of the receivers in motion. He's got a 1st down, 40, 45, 50 into Crusader territory. Still on his feet at the 40, 35, and not to be denied. What a run by Jackson Davis, junior. Split out to the left side, came back across the formation after they faked to the halfback, and he ran a long way.
Yeah, that time looked like, they snapped to somebody other than Dupras that time, but Davis, caught the pitch going back, counter motion of all the other action, and took it around the right end for the big gain.
That results in a 41-yard gain down to the Buehler 32. Best position tonight for the Vikings. Trips left on the 1st and 10. Dupras going to pitch it to his tailback, running to the near side and driven out of bounds for a short or no gain, maybe a yard to the 31. And on that pitch for the Vikings, it is Cale Lindenman.
And he had to run a long ways to try to get that lone yard there.
Clock continues to run. We'll go inside 10 minutes.
Black Knights did a great job of stringing that toss play to the left out.
Well, that play, 41 yards, that is more yards, I would say, than the Vikings have total in all their other drives tonight. Trips to the right side. Lindenman to the left of the quarterback out of the gun. On 2nd down and 9. And Dupras wants to throw over the middle, and he throws high, and it's picked off at the 15. Returnable, 30. Flag comes out, 35-40 into Viking territory. On the far side, still going 30, 25-20, 10-5. Touchdown, but what is the flag?
It's going to be
a crackback block right here.
Is that Brady Gotti who got the INT?
Yes, the pick 6 going to be waved off because one of our guys, and I didn't see, Matt, was it behind the play?
Yeah, it was right after. It was one of the receivers, that's the receiver that was overthrown, and he turned around to make the tackle. And
so they would call off the INT even though the penalty came after?
No, I think the INT will count, but the return will not.
There's a whole series with the defenseless player.
Correct.
And so that's what, unfortunately, as a Crusader, you can't waylay a guy if he doesn't see you.
I will tell you this much. I thought he led with his hand. The rule, as I understand it, Chris, and you can correct me, is that you have to lead with your hands out in front, and I thought he did. In fact, as soon as he did it, he was looking at the official like, hey, I did that right, and the official threw it immediately. It happened right here in front of me.
You're exactly right on the leading with the hands. Had a long discussion with Jeff Wells in the offseason, just about some of the rule changes. But
unfortunately, there was an injured Viking on that play, and it's good to see him up and walking off. So the interception will stand. Brady Gotti, interesting there, Dupras had to hit receiver open in the middle of the field. He just threw it high. And right to Brady Gotti. With the penalty against the Crusaders, it'll mark it back to the 9. They'll start 1st and 10 at their own 9-yard line. 3 turnovers in this half by the Vikings. Again, Viking player up and okay. That is very good to see.
Guys, there's pretty good amount of discussion down here from Buehler coaching staff saying that they thought that was an incorrect call. official was saying that it's a player safety issue, but I do think letter of the law, it probably was the incorrect call.
Actually mark it at the 8, 1st and 10, 9:29 to go with the half. Crusaders leading 27-0. Here's the fullback going to work again. And across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Boy, I cannot remember a time in the past when I've seen a Buhler fullback run better here than Braden Gentry has been these last few weeks.
Yeah, Gentry has just been a beast and, just so hard to tackle. And he's a guy, that time tackle made by Owen Suttles. I actually feel bad for some of the guys if you're the guy tasked with trying to step in front of Gentry and bring him down.
Up to the 16, it's a gain of 8. So it'll be second down and about 2. Out of the eye, they go to Klaus, and he is stopped immediately for a loss. And that'll put, call it no gain at the 16. And so it is third down and a long 2 here.
Great tackle made in space that time by Cole Wageman. And he's been one of the main tacklers for Winfield. Think about how many times we've talked about him this evening. He has been covering a lot of ground for the Vikes this evening.
Actually more like 3rd and 3. Klaus really never had a chance there. Vikings got quickly into the backfield. Buhler's going to be out of the eye. 2 receivers to the near side on 3rd down. And they're going to stay on the ground. Here is Ben. Cuts right and gets to the 20, and
I like the spot of the official like on the Buhler sideline.
A good spot for a first down. Klaus I initially was hesitant because it didn't look like he was going to have enough, but a second effort will move the sticks and a First National Bank first down.
Well, Klaus getting rewarded that time by just keeping those feet churning and fighting for every last scrap of yardage.
Yards have been hard tonight. Very physical. 8 to go in the half. 27-0 Crusaders. 1st and 10 from the right hash mark of the 20-yard line. And on the ground with a fullback again, and Braden Gentry. Took about 6 Vikings that time to wrestle him to the turf for no gain.
Yeah, that time it was the near side defensive end that made the stop for Winfield. It was Mac Morin. He was waiting right for Gentry to hit the line.
Lights on. It's a beautiful night here in Cowley County in South Central Kansas. Chance Stadium. Buhler leading 27-0. Halfway through the second quarter, they go with 2 wings. And Klaus will get the carry on 2nd and 10. And bounces out of a tackle, somehow spun out of an initial tackle. Running to the left side and picks up a couple of yards. We're looking at about 3rd down and 8 here.
And I'll say, Jackson Davis, that was almost a touchdown-saving tackle. If Klaus breaks out of Davis's tackle there, he might still be going.
Give him progress to the 23. So 3rd down and 7. Can't imagine that Buhler would be in 4th down territory unless they get awfully close to that first down stick. They'll stay in the eye. Receivers either side. It's Gilliam here to the right side. Jeffrey wants to throw, now steps up in the pocket. And he's going to take off with it. Sidesteps one tackler, blows through another, has a first down, still on his feet. He just blowed his way through 2 guys who would have stopped him short across the 30, and he's got a First National Bank first down.
I'm trying to get a number of that truck there. See which of those defenders from Winfield just got lit up like a Roman candle. It's 41. That was Mason Letellier. I mean, he's a 200-pound kid, and he just got knocked in the next week.
Interesting, Pisano was coming up this near sideline on what looked like a fade route and just got tackled by the defensive back.
Steamroll Jeffrey did his way to a first down. Inside handoff. And forward progress. Fullback again. Up near the 39-yard line. Yeah, that is about as big as a collision in the quarterback. Jeffrey Neal's not a small quarterback, and when he comes at you full steam, you better make sure you got him.
And a kid that's almost 6 foot and 200 pounds, and he got moved like he was a pebble. Pretty impressive run.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. They'll stay in the eye. It is going to be Klaus running to the near side. 40, leaps his way across the first down stick at the 45. Move the chains again. First National Bank of Hutchinson, first for you.
I really like Buhler's tempo right now. Buhler has all the time in the world. Just burn some clock, really kind of beat on this Winfield defense and establish that they're the more physical team.
nearing midfield here with the, always wondered, someday I'm going to figure this out. So it's the Southwestern College Mound Builders, but their mascot is a black cat named Jinx. Right there at midfield of the 50. 1st and 10 at the 45. Bueller going left to right in the second quarter. Out of the I formation. Klaus trying to get low and get around the left end. And he'll be stopped for a short gain. A flag comes out at the point of the play came to an end at the 48.
There's some flag down. I think that's going to be a late hit. Ben was already wrapped up when he took a late hit up high.
Yep, personal foul. It's going to be on Winfield.
That'll be the 4th penalty in the half on the Vikings. And that'll move the ball well into Winfield territory. It's another 1st down.
We'll take the real estate.
And up to the 38-yard line. This drive started at Bueller's own 8 after a interception by Brady Gotti, his 1st of the year. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. They fake to the tailback. Jeffrey wants to throw. He has Gentry in space on the right side. Caught by the fullback across the 35 and up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 4.
Well, Gentry did a great job of just kind of plucking that one out of the sky and hauling it in.
Interesting. Initially, they marked the ball all the way back to the 38. Now, what in the world are they doing? Now they move it forward to the 34. Gentry's going to move over to a wing, a super back on the far side. Lone tailback Klaus. Neal out of the gun. Ben breaks free up the middle, flags out across the 20. It's a 1st down if it stands. It probably won't. Tackled up near the 15. That came right as Ben hit the line. Hit the hole in the line of scrimmage. That flag came out pretty quick.
There's 3 flags on the field. Something happened, but I did not see it.
My initial thought is a hold of some kind.
Yeah, or I wondered if it was from Ben lowering his head.
I'd guess either a hold or a face mask. Holding on Bueller.
It is 3rd penalty of the night.
Oh, it was actually offsetting penalties. There was a personal foul on Winfield.
So they'll replay the down.
Boy, it's really a crying shame because Ben lowered the boom on that hit. He does a great job of staying again behind his pads.
Replay the down, 2nd and 6 from the 34. 1st down stick up at the 28. They'll stay with Gentry. That super back to the left, 2 receivers left. They'll stay with Klaus. Straight up the gut across the 30. And about a yard shy of the 1st down at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to spot him just short. The official here on the near sideline was looking like he was going to stop the clock to move the chains, but they're going to spot him oh so close.
12th play of this drive coming up that started at Bueller's own 8. They've chewed almost 6 minutes off the clock on this second quarter drive, leading 27-0. And now looks like the Vikings taking a timeout.
I think the officials, I didn't never see the officials signal one side or the other calling timeout.
So there is a timeout of the field. Our timeouts this year brought to you by Pyle Law. If you or someone you know has been involved in a car accident, get the compensation you deserve. Contact Tom at Pyle Law. Crusader football this season brought to you in part by Ray & Sons Roofing, by Alpha Land Surveys, Sunflower Electric Supply, by the Medicine Shop, and by Pro Value Insurance. Now we're ready to play in a 3rd down and 1. From the far side left hash mark of the 29. And a quarterback sneak. Jeffrey Neal's got enough for the 1st down. And it moves the football as the pile chugs north. South to the 26. Gain of 3.
Well, the neat thing about this first half as we approach halftime, you always think about what is the coaching staff going to talk to the guys about. And literally tonight, this has maybe been one of the best halves of football Bueller has played complete-wise on both sides.
Out of the I formation, 1st and 10 at the 26. Another First National Bank first down. Jeffrey wants to throw. He has Gilliam complete inside the 15, and Tavian will be driven out of bounds. Up around the 12-yard line.
Nice little comeback route that time by Gilliam. The Winfield Vikings secondary wanted to keep all the Buhler receivers in front of him, just kind of cleared out, let him catch it, tried to keep him in front, and Buhler's knocking on the door of a 1st and goal opportunity here shortly.
Down to the 12, so it's a gain of 14. Another First National first down from the right hash mark now out of the I. Single receivers either side, play action. Jeff rolling out to his left. He's got Gentry at the goal line, dives forward for another Crusader touchdown. And a nice drive, over 6 minutes off the clock. And on the 14th play of the drive, they find the fullback, or do they?
Yep.
They say he's down, or no? It is a touchdown.
Well, great job. I know Brady Gotti's sitting there going, man, I got this done like 6 minutes ago in one fell swoop. But Buhler doing a nice job after the penalty, coming out and methodically marching the football down the field, burning clock, and using the run game and the passing game to get their next 6.
14 plays, 92 yards. And Valdoy will put it up and through. So 2:59 to go in the half. Crusaders dominating here in Winfield tonight, leading 34-0 from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Crusader football on HKFM.
Can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Are you done with punching the clock or constant work travel? Do you have 15 or more acres? Find freedom by joining America's #1 free-range egg brand, Happy Egg. Happy Egg is looking for growers to raise happy hens. Happy Egg offers startup and new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Work from home. Work for yourself. Feed America. Visit happyeggfarms.com today for more information. Happy Egg is a proud supporter of Reno County Athletics.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, tonight's Schmidt Electric spark of the game will make it the INT by Brady Gotti, one of the 3 Crusader turnovers that have been forced in this half. They've taken the ball away 3 times. Short kick this time to the right side of the field by Valdoy, and it's going to be down to near the 26. So Brady Gotti getting his first interception that started that long drive. 14 plays and 92 yards. Schmidt Electric for all of your electrical needs with over 15 years experience. Scott Spark.
Yeah, so now it's interesting right now. Winfield would be thinking, hey, we need to try to score here quickly. They might have in the back of their head, man, we don't want to give the ball back to Buhler and let them go up another score.
I'll go out of the robust tee on 1st and 10 here as they tighten things up. And nothing doing in the backfield. 1, 2, 3, 4 Black Knights there to make a tackle for a loss on 1st down.
Great job pouring through the line that time for Buhler. It was Chase Gentry in on the stop for the Crusaders.
Moves the ball back to the 24-yard line.
Buhler in an interesting situation too. Do they use the timeouts here? There's kind of that code of, do we use the timeouts to try to get the ball back or just try to run this half out?
So a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd down and long with Dupras out of the gun. And a handoff up the middle. They get a little bit back. I think give them the original line of scrimmage back to the 26, looking at 3rd down and 10.
Gasway on the stop for the Crusaders as we go under 2 minutes. And 2 successive run plays for Winfield have yielded losses.
So 3rd down and 10, clock running. 1:47 to go before halftime. Buhler has scored on every drive they've had the football in the half. 34-0 out of that stacked I. 3 backs lined up behind Dupras. And fakes the handoff, throws with pressure in his face. Just does get the football off. Gazaway was hunting him down. The ball is caught, but then immediately out of bounds goes the receiver at the 28. Not enough, obviously, for the first down. It's going to be 4th and long.
It was Adam Everett that made the catch. Nice job by Gilliam, keeping him in front of him and securing the tackle, running him out of bounds.
So the Vikings indeed will have to punt here. Evan Hutto, the sophomore, on to kick it from near his own 15. And he'll kick it away, a high kick into the night sky. It's going to be taken by Jeremy Gentry at the Buhler 38, returned across the 45 to the 48-yard line. So you've got a $1.18, 3 timeouts in your pocket. What you calling here, Coach?
Well, it'll be interesting what Coach Warner draws up here. If Buhler gets aggressive or if Buhler elects to just run the ball.
How much are we going to see the starters in the second half?
Yeah, maybe first possession or so. I know you hate to have kids go to the locker room and know they're not going to play it down in the second half.
So from their own 47, Jeffrey's going to be out of the shotgun. They're going to put trips left. Klaus is the tailback to the left of Jeffrey in the formation. Single receiver right side. So they go without a tight end on first down. They fake the handoff. They're going to throw over the middle into coverage, and that is going to be picked off. Intended for McDaniel. Picked off at the 30. Flag is out as it's returned to the far right side of the field across the 50 near the Buhler 49-yard line. There is a flag out after the pick. First turnover of the night on the Crusaders, an INT on Jeffrey Neal, and that is his 3rd this season. See what the call is. Flag came after the INT.
Personal foul tripping on Winfield.
We've had some laundry in this half. That is already 5 penalties on Winfield. Crusaders have 2. So the turnover will stand. First of the night of the Crusaders. Vikings get it back with 1:04 on the clock here. Fortunately for them, the penalty will push them back into their own territory at the 36.
Winfield with 64 seconds left to go in the half. I mean, they're going to probably swing for the fences here.
And a flag comes out at the snap of the football.
Going to hit. Is that a taunting penalty?
It's on the Vikings.
Yeah, it's a taunting penalty. So somebody from Winfield must have said something.
It's a strange place to taunt when you're down 34 to nothing.
And right before the snap of the football, too. I mean, so somebody had to have said some magic words. And I'm assuming it was probably the wideout here on the near side because that was the official that threw it sky high.
So back to their own 21. It'll be 1st and 20. Pressure brought by Cole's defense. Duprat hit as he throws, incomplete on the near sideline. The Viking 45, intended for Winfield's Drew Graham, incomplete.
Well, it's funny, before that, or the taunting penalty, officials, if it's a personal foul, and Matt, you know, they tend to throw the flag a little higher. And when that one went sky high, I was like, man. But anyway.
I wonder that this near side official is saying that the other sideline's pretty livid, so I wonder if it was on the sideline.
Coach Cole's picked the right time there to dial up the pressure.
Yes. Well, it's a very much a situation where they got one back in the backfield. I mean, they're going to try to air it out.
2nd and 20 as they put a receiver right to left in motion. It's a quarterback draw. Duprat gets sandwiched after a short gain up to the 22. He got sandwiched between 2 Black Knights and taken down hard.
Well, and that play call there tells me Winfield's just trying to probably get this thing to the half. They'll probably take a shot or 2 here.
They'll have to snap the football one more time. There's about 10 seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock. Inside 30 seconds now to go. Peter leading 34-0. It'll be third down, a gain of about 1 there. They need the 36 for a first down. Trips left. Dupross scrambling, and he is going to be hit and sacked back at the 17-yard line.
Nice job that time in on the stop for Buhler. Lucas Anderson, senior, getting some playing time along with Will Hanen and Skripsik.
And that is going to do it as the first half comes to an end. Only 1 touch on offense that Buhler did not score in that half, and that was the pick thrown right late in the quarter by Jeff Neal.
Hey guys, I've got Coach Warner. Coach, obviously your team just controlled both sides of the ball. What were you really happy about in that first half?
Well, basically everything. Special teams were good, except for the 1 miss. Defense was outstanding again. Another shutout 3 weeks in a row in the first half, and then the offense came out ready to play. They gave us a lot of different looks, which you can't really see that when they line up in a 5 or 7, and that confused our kids for a bit when we didn't have positive plays. But I was pleased with the way the offensive line did learn what they were doing, and we figured it out. And then also I was pleased with Jeffrey's throwing until the last interception. We had a wide open receiver. We should have thrown it deeper, and we would have been all right. Now, granted, the wind's blowing, but I think we could have still let him. But other than that, I'm pretty darn pleased. That's a great outing.
So, Coach, you haven't been in this spot yet this year. You've been in a bunch of close games. How do you keep your guys motivated for a second half? What do you tell them at halftime up 34-0?
Well, we're still going to be on them. We're going to coach them up. We're going to go and work on the things that they hurt us with offensively, and then defensively make sure we don't have blown an assignment like we just had and could have cost us a touchdown.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
All right. Coach still coaching up 34-0 as we're at halftime. Our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report live tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Crusader football brought to you in part by Idea Tech, by 37 Printco, H&R Block, by Midwest Iron and Metal, and by the Bradbury Company. And halftime begins after this on HKFM.
Continues next with the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Coming up, Aaron and Chris recap tonight's first half, and we'll catch up with other coaches and athletes in This Week in Crusader Sports. 95.9 HKFM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Gust. My team and I at Gust Orthodontics would like to wish all the athletes the best of luck as they compete this season. If you or a loved one are in need of orthodontic care, please give one of our offices in Hutchinson, Newton, or McPherson a call to set up a complimentary consultation. We will take the time to answer all of your questions and address each of your concerns so you feel confident and excited to begin your orthodontic journey with us at Gust Orthodontics. We always provide beautiful smiles, exceptional care.
You already know H&R Block does taxes, but you may not know you can get expert help in person or virtually, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. At H&R Block, help is here. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
Are you needing custom apparel for your team or company? Hi, I'm Steve Mertens, and I invite you to choose My Team Gear for all your custom apparel needs. Check out our website at myteamgear.com for more information. My Team Gear, a Factory 233 company, your source for custom apparel.
Prairie Bank of Kansas is a local bank with local concerns. You'll find us in the heart of the community, helping wherever we're needed. We enjoy working with local schools to help promote activities like sports and extracurricular learning. We hope you support these valuable activities too. We'll be right here with you. Visit one of our locations in Stafford, Buhler, Inman, or Hutchinson, or check us out online at prairiebankks.com. Prairie Bank of Kansas. How banking should be.
Whether you want a small home remodel or need repairs done or have a brand new build project in mind, Erickson Custom Building is your choice. All of us at Erickson Custom Building would like to thank our customers for 20 years of business and friendship. Brian and the crew at Erickson have spent those years developing excellent customer service and quality leadership for all types of projects, big or small, traditional or trendy. When your project is finished, it will reflect your vision for quality and follow-through that exceeds your expectations, not your budget. Call Erickson Custom Building or find us on the web at ericksoncustombldg.com.
Well, for just the fourth time under head coach Lance Leipold, the Kansas Jayhawks will play in front of a sold-out crowd as KU takes on BYU for the Big 12 home opener at David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium. Sellout comes after KU's 3-0 start this season, the second consecutive 3-0 start for Coach Lance Leipold. But he says playing against the Cougars in their first ever Big 12 conference game presents a unique challenge.
Probably the age and maturity of the team. It's, I think average age of the roster is
seems like is 22 years old or something versus what a traditional college roster is. So the size and maturity and those things, the experience, well coached. They had a big win. To be down 2 scores on the road and to come back and win in the fashion that they did, you can tell they're well coached, poised, that maturity that you're looking for. And for them to come here for their first Big 12 game, I'm sure they're going to be excited about the opportunity. There's 30 plus undefeated teams in the country right now, and they're one of them, so it's going to be a great challenge.
The Jayhawks and Cougars will kick off at 2:30, and you can hear Brian Haney with the radio call on 94.7 KSKU and 99.3 KIOL, starting with pregame at 1 o'clock. The Kansas State Wildcats also have their Big 12 home opener against a brand new conference foe as they take on the Central Florida Knights in the nightcap, with kickoff starting at 7 o'clock at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Much of the talk with the Wildcats this weekend are some of the players that they'll be down, including Daniel Green for the rest of the season, as a middle linebacker went down with a pectoral injury. Running back Trayshawn Ward is doubtful, and quarterback Will Howard is questionable. But head coach Chris Kleiman had a strong message for his team.
We can't let Missouri beat us twice. We have to come up with great game plans no matter who's playing at quarterback, running back, Mike linebacker, and the show moves on. And we've got to continue to battle the adversity that we're facing. It's our job as coaches to get the guys in great positions to be successful on Saturday against a really talented Central Florida team that, from what I understand, may be down a player or two as well.
And you can hear the Wildcats and Knights square off in Manhattan on 1510 KLQR. We'll take a timeout. We'll look at the rest of the Big 12 schedule after this.
Hey folks, this is Darren Eddy with Ag 360 Insurance in Inman. Farmers, would you like to have your farm and personal insurance handled all by the one agency? At Ag 360 Insurance, we can handle it all with one agent. We would love an opportunity to sit down and visit with you about your insurance needs. Feel free to stop by our office on Old K61 in Inman or give Cody Moores or myself a call today at 620-585-2128 or check us out online at ag360insurance.com.
Unlock a world of beauty at Anima Bella, Hutchinson's luxury salon, spa, and boutique. New clients can enjoy 20% off. Call, go online, or visit our social media to book your appointment today. Anima Bella Salon, Spa, and Boutique. Beautiful soul, beautiful you.
Do you need custom shirts, hoodies, polos, or other apparel printed or embroidered? Hi, this is Tyler with 37 Print Company in Hutch. Whether it's for your sports team, business, or church, we've got you covered. Check out our work on our Facebook page at 37 Print Co. We print shirts.
And the rest of the Big 12 slate looks like this. There's a couple more out-of-conference games as the TCU Horned Frogs play at home at Amon G. Carter Stadium against SMU. That game starts at 11 o'clock. And the only other non-conference game, the Houston Cougars host Sam Houston State for a 6 o'clock kickoff. The Cincinnati Bearcats will make their Big 12 debut against the 16th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners as the Sooners come to Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati for an 11 a.m. kick. The Texas Tech Red Raiders head to West Virginia to Mountaineer Field as the Mountaineers got a nice rivalry win last week over Pitt. That game kicks off at 2:30. Two teams that desperately could use a victory will play at Jack Trice Stadium this weekend as the Oklahoma State Cowboys face the Iowa State Cyclones at 3 o'clock. And the final Big 12 game of the weekend kicks off at 6:30 at McLean Stadium in Waco, Texas, as the Baylor Bears host the 3-0 and third-ranked Texas Longhorns. And last weekend, the Sterling College Warriors picked up their first victory of the season as a late interception sealed the deal for the Warriors in a 27-20 victory over the Bethany Swedes. Now both Bethany and Sterling are 1-3 on the season. They'll be looking for their second wins coming up Saturday. Bethany Swedes will take on St. Mary in Lindsborg for youth football night. That one will get underway at 7 o'clock, and you can hear pregame on 95.5 KLBG starting at 6:30. While the Warriors play at the Southwestern Mound Builders for a 6 o'clock kickoff, and you can catch that one on 95.9 KWHK with pregame starting at 5:30. Also coming up this weekend on Ad Astra Radio, the Kansas City Chiefs welcome back the services of their Pro Bowl tight end and defensive tackles Travis Kelce and Chris Jones, and it ended with a nice victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now the Chiefs host the Chicago Bears, who are 0-2 on the season. Not only that, are a team in flux as Alan Williams, their defensive coordinator, announced he resigned the position this week. The Bears and Chiefs will play at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in a game that that kicks off at 3:25, and you can catch pregame starting at noon on 3 different stations: 96.7 KMPK, 98.9 KGBK, and 101.5 KIKS. I'm Scott Miller with Look at Your Halftime Sports. Time to get you back out to your high school games.
You're listening to the Prairie Bank of Kansas Halftime Report. Tonight's second half kickoff is coming up next. Join Aaron West and head coach Steve Warner Monday nights at 6:30 for the Crusader Coaches Show, 95.9 HKFM.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Have your insurance premiums gone up? I'm Rex Redinger with over 35 years helping people in Hutchinson and across central Kansas to get excellent coverage while saving money on their home, auto, and business insurance. As an independent agent with many companies like Progressive, Travelers, and Safeco to get great rates. Check us out at theredingeragency.com or stop by my office at 1801 North Plum across the street from Bogies, or give us a call today at 662-9008 and let's talk. Get your quote today at the Redinger Agency in Hutchinson, Kansas.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here on our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report, Crusader football this evening brought to you in part by GTK Self-Storage, Hunchrack, by Rod's Tire and Service, by First National Bank, and by Croft Lumber. You heard Coach Warner talk about the fact that other than the INT at the end of the half, they're pretty pleased with the way things went. Peter adjusted well to some of the different looks that the Viking defense was giving them, some of that physicality, and once they got that running game going, Vikings haven't been able to stop it.
Well, if Bueller gets the ball running downhill, it's really a tough offense to stop, and Bueller had a little trouble running to the outside, then started giving him a steady dose of the fullback up the gut, mixing him with some of the vertical passing game, and it has been a combination tonight that's just been too much for Winfield.
5 touchdowns in the first half for the Crusaders. A couple of runs by Ben Klaus, the sophomore tailback. A couple of throws by Jeff Neal as well. And then as impressive, the 3 turnovers forced by the defense.
Yep, Bueller's had a pick, also recovered the fumbles. And, it's been great to see Bueller being aggressive and winning the turnover battle and trying to get it because, last year the turnover battle really for the entire season got tipped in the favor of the opponents. So hopefully Bueller can get that back up to 500 or get that to be our advantage.
I love that last touchdown drive. It went from their own 8, so 92 yards in 14 plays. They take around 6 minutes off the clock. That is just vintage Bueller football.
Yep, it was just a ground and pound, mixing in a little bit of play action. And lots of different guys touched the ball in that drive, and it, the type of drive that really kind of takes the will away from your defense.
Let's take a look at some of our other games tonight on the network in our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard. This evening, Bueller Dental Care providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch, Christopher.
Well, we'll take a look up and down. We'll start first with the game that's over on Mix 96.7. Mound Ridge 45's Pretty Parade tonight, 48-0, and so the Lions 30-0. Up the dial on KMCP 98.9 and 1540. McPherson shutting out Circle at the half, 17-0. Over on Kansas Rocks 100.3 KNZS Trinity Catholic shutting out the Ellenwood Eagles 21-0. And over east at the half, Iola leading Anderson County 2-0 at the half.
Other scores from around the area at halftime tonight. It's 48-0 at halftime. Sterling 21, Inman 10. Chris mentioned that. As Goddard leads over Ark City 29-6. A big score there for the Goddard Lions. How about that Andale Smoky Valley score? Those Indians, goodness.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that game over on Smoky Valley, or Smoky Hills Rock 95-5. Yeah, Andale leading 58-0 at the half.
Elsewhere, Cheney 28, Pratt nothing at halftime. Cheney Cardinals look good this year. Dodge and Liberal at the half tied at 7. Andover over Solana Central at halftime 13-7. And those are some other scores in our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard at the half.
Yep, another one I missed earlier. Sterling at the end of 1 leading Inman 14-0 on KSKU. And the last score we have out of Hutch was Central Christian leading Fairfield 20-6. That score back in the first quarter.
Yeah, big homecoming night for the Cougars there at Central Christian. They've got some events going on at the school tomorrow as well. Sterling College football here on KWHK tomorrow evening. And our crew will be right back here at Chance Stadium tomorrow night as the Warriors take on the Southwestern Mound Builders. That'll be a 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock kickoff here on HKFM tomorrow night. We'll come back. First half stats and the second half kickoff here from Chance Stadium, our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report on HKFM.
An experienced staff is here to help give you the best care around. From regular fillings, cleanings, dental implants, or even if we have to, extractions, we can provide the treatments you need. We are always accepting new patients, so be sure to call us at 620-543-2768 to schedule your next appointment or email online at drdalls@gmail.com. Bueller Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Have an appliance that doesn't work or a yard full of scrap metal and don't know what to do with it? Hi, this is Kathy from Midwest Iron, and you can save the environment and put a little money in your pocket by bringing it to us at 700 South Main. Midwest Iron, recycling for tomorrow's environment.
We're here to keep you rolling. Rod's Tire and Service.
At Next Tech Wireless, it's wireless on your terms. You pick a 36, 24, or 18-month agreement and get a device on us like the iPhone 14 or the new Google Pixel 7. Stuck in a contract with your current provider? Switch now and get up to $1,000 per line. For more details, stop by your nearest Next Tech Wireless location today or call or text our customer care team at 877-621-2600. Next Tech Wireless, home on the range.
Hi, this is DJ of the DJ Kaufman Agency in Hutchinson. Since 1992, I've worked to find the best insurance coverage for people just like you. We can work with many top insurance companies. That gives us the flexibility to search and find competitive rates and comprehensive coverage. Interested in finding your customized policy? Come see us at 15 East 30th in Hutchinson. Easier yet, call or click today. The DJ Kaufman Agency at 669-0410 or djkaufmaninsurance.com, where you'll find uncommon options with practical, proactive service.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, back here at the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. 3:18 here to go still at halftime. They had homecoming tonight, so a little bit of an extra extended halftime here. That'll be a chance to see some youngsters coming up in the second half. Before we get to that second half, we're going to take a look at some of the first half numbers from this game. Bueller with those 3 takeaways to lead that category and 5 touchdowns. Mr. Epp in the first half.
Yeah, that's correct. 34-0 is your score. This is all Bueller so far. You mentioned those 3 turnovers for Winfield, just 1 for Bueller. Third down conversions, Bueller is 4 for 5. Winfield just 1 for 6. Both teams 1 for 1 on fourth down conversions. As for your rushing totals, last week Ben Klaus had 17 rushes for 90 in the second half. More of that today. He had 15 rushes for 57 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half today. And then Braden Gentry, 5 for 29. Nick Gazaway, 2 for 25 with a touchdown. Jeff Neal, 2 for 15. That's 26 attempts for Bueller for 126 in the first half. Winfield, just 41 rushing yards in the first half on 13 carries for the team. That includes 42 of those from Jackson Davis, number 42. He had 2 attempts, but one of them was that 40-yard end around on 3rd and 10 for their 1 third down conversion. Also, running back number 5, Cale Lindman, and quarterback number 10, Landon Duprat, both had a fumble that was recovered by Bueller in that first half. As for passing, Jeff Neal, 6 for 9, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Landon Duprat had 5 for 11, 42 yards, no touchdowns and 1 interception. Mitchell McDaniel receiving 2 catches for 63 and a touchdown for Bueller. And Braden Gentry had 2 for 16 and a touchdown as well. Bueller outgained Winfield 221 to 83 total yards in the first half. And also defensively, Brady Gotti had an interception. Cash Carson, Jacob Miller both got fumble recoveries. And I wanted to note Lucas Anderson in on a sack to close the first half.
Good stuff, man. Thank you. First half numbers here as Bueller leads 34-0 at halftime. And teams back out. We'll have just a little bit of a delay again before the start of the second half because of homecoming. I would imagine Matthew will get a chance to call some of those younger numbers down on the sideline in the second half.
Yeah, you know, Bueller's really not found itself in this position thus far in the year. Every game has been tight. This one, you know, barring some sort of unforeseen huge rally in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half, would sure expect to see Bueller will try to, I would imagine, try to come out and establish some corrections that they want to see out of that starting group. And then I would imagine you'll start to see JV guys. Certainly, I'd love your guys' opinion, but certainly no reason to get anybody hurt in a game that's pretty well decided. I also would imagine that we'll have a running clock here before too much longer.
Yeah, I think you obviously get the ball to start the second half, so your starters are back out there. Maybe for all of that drive, maybe you even start rotating some other guys in as that drive goes along. So, yeah, you're right. The last thing you want to do with a lopsided score is get a significant injury, especially after all of the injuries we suffered last year. It just seemed like they were endless, and don't want to risk that tonight. Absolutely.
You know, you have this little middle part of the season where you have the opportunity to work on some, you know, some specific things that you may not need to win these middle games, but you sure may need on a certain Thursday night in October in Wichita against a bullpup team that'll be waiting for us. So all of these opportunities are chances to get better, and then you certainly want to get those guys out. And it's fun to see the young guys, fun for those guys to get a chance to play on Friday night.
Yeah, I don't care what the two records are that Thursday. You can throw those out the window. That'll be a dogfight in Wichita with Mac. Certainly Crusaders have to be favored in their next 3 after this. Mulvane at home, Augusta at home for senior night, and then at Rose Hill. I believe next week is homecoming also, if I'm not mistaken. Homecoming next week, senior night the following year. Isn't that crazy? We're already talking about senior night, and we're halfway through the season.
Oh, well, I just can't believe that we're down to the last week of September next week. And, you know, we were talking about all the fall sports at half. You know, a lot of those sports, they're getting ready to go to postseason here in the next week or so.
Yeah, they like to get done before the weather turns.
Yep.
Probably be their preference. So the Crusaders are going to have the ball to start half number 2. Vikings will kick from their 40.
Winfield will have the wind here to open this third quarter.
First opportunity Bueller's had to return a kickoff tonight. They'll have 2 guys back around the 5. I believe Gentry is one of those. Can't say enough about the job he's done this year in the return game, particularly punt returning. And Vikings an end-over-end kick. It's short. It's going to be taken at the 11. Sidestep one tackler back up the middle of the field across the 20 and down inside across the 30 up and around the 32-yard line.
Yeah, great return that time by Jared Miller. I mean, he really delivered a blow on some of those kick coverage guys from Winfield trying to make the stop.
All right, so underway second half Crusader football here from Winfield tonight. Aaron West, Chris Shank, Matt Atherton, 11:53 to go in the third. Here on KWHK Hutchinson. Bueller from their own 32-yard line. And we'll see how long the starters stay in. They are out there to start the second half. Jeffrey under center, the I formation. Gentry and Klaus behind him. And they'll fake it to the fullback. Quarterback keeps it. And a run to the right for Jeff Neal. Forward progress to the 39, and he picks up 7 on first down.
Just a little 12 option that time. Neal pulled it out of Gentry's hands, went through one of the gaps here to the right, and a great pickup on first down. And good to see Bueller. You know, you sometimes worry if you're up big at the half, you know, coming out in this third quarter, maybe laying an egg. Bueller coming out guns a-blazing here to open this third quarter.
Caden Schartz was in at receiver that time. He'll rotate out. Gilliam is back in. 2nd down and 3 at the 39. It'll be Klaus, the tailback. Runs right, has a big hole across the 45. Spins his way down to the 49 for a First National Bank first down and a run of 10 yards.
Drew Graham making the stop, one of the corners for Winfield that time. And Bueller already getting ready to cross the midfield stripe just a couple downs into this third quarter.
Really feels like they've spent most of the night in Viking territory other than that one really long drive there late in the second quarter. 1st and 10 at the 49, clock running. 34-0 Crusaders, 10:48 to go here in the third. Jeff under center. They work out of the eye with 2 tight ends. And this will be Klaus running left, weaving through traffic. And forward progress close to the Viking 45-yard line.
Good hard run by Klaus there on first down, and Bueller so far with not a single thing going negative on this first drive.
Paisano back in at a receiver on 2nd down and 4. They're going to stay with the 2 tight end look here, out of the eye. And Jeff will take the snap. It is Klaus running right. And gets a late surge across the 40 to get a first down up to the 30, a First National Bank first down. And Peter, looks like they've been doing this all night, huh? Just move the chains.
And Klaus running so hard, keeping his shoulder pads square to the line of scrimmage. And yeah, I mean, this drive feels a lot like that long drive you talked about, Aaron, after the pick, where Bueller just came out and ran it right down Winfield's throat.
McDaniel split out wide to the left this time. 2 tight end set, high formation. Klaus again, initially hit at the line of scrimmage, breaks out of that tackle, but then can't get away from a second Viking. A penalty, I think a couple of penalty flags come out at the end of the play, no gain. And we'll see what the call is by the officials.
Well, Valenzuela made the stop, one of the defensive ends for Winfield.
Penalty markers came out on either side of the field. Officials have been busy with the laundry. 7 penalties assessed in the first half.
Going to be a block below the waist on Bueller.
That'll be the 3rd penalty of the game on the Crusaders. Well, Coach talked about, hey, we're going to work on things we need to clean up. Some of those penalties maybe could be at the top of that list. As that's going to push the ball back across the 50 to the 46-yard line.
Some substitutions for Bueller.
What's that old saying, first in a country mile?
Yes, it is a long ways.
First down stick is at the Viking 29. They are at the 46 here on first down. Jeffrey wants to throw. Pump fakes, throws it far side complete, back in Viking territory near the 46-yard line. It's caught over there.
Carter Jones with the snag for Bueller.
First career catch for Carter Jones. They'll say his knee was down at the 47.
So we got some of the penalty yardage back there.
So a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd down from the 47-yard line. Jeffrey's going to be out of the gun with the running back on his left hip. 2 receivers to the right. He looks that way. Pump fakes. Throws in a tight window and caught by Braden Gentry at the 40-yard line. Threaded the needle there to Gentry. And forward progress up to the 39. We're looking at about a 3rd down and 10.
You talked about it being a tight window, and when you got an aggressive receiver like Gentry, you can put it in those smaller windows. Nice job by Gentry catching it in traffic.
3rd down and 9. Boy, that's a great job to work all that penalty yardage back and have a manageable 3rd down here with 8:10 to go in the third. Buhler leading 34-0 to the line of scrimmage, just under 10 on the play clock. Jeff out of the gun, trips left. So they go with no tight end on third down and a screen pass. Here is Klaus, far side, and he is tackled hard, well short of the first down. The screen did not work. And the Vikings blow it up. And a gain of only a yard or two for Ben Klaus. It'll be fourth down.
Yeah, one of the linebackers, Cole Wageman, doing a nice job making the stop. And
only gets a yard out of that screen pass. They have not run many of those this year.
No, they have not. So Neal with the opportunity to try to coffin corner this thing.
So they're going to send Jeffrey on to punt. He's pinned to 3 inside the 20 this year in 3 games. Kicking from about the 45. Angles it to the far left side of the field. It's going to bounce and die inside the 5. It'll be downed. A perfect kick from Jeff Neal down near the 2-yard line.
And that was right in front of you, Matt.
Yeah, it checked up just like a beautiful pitch off a lob wedge. It was perfect.
And there is a flag down at the line to gain.
There is a flag right in the middle of the field.
There's some talking and looking at the Buhler sideline like they're going to have to, like Buehler's going to have to make a decision.
Well, the question would be, is the penalty enough for a first down?
It's a hold on Winfield.
So I think they said it was during the kick. So they're going to go ahead and Winfield will retain possession, but it's going to pin them deep. And that was a fantastic kick. The way it checked up couldn't have been any better.
And good hustle. I know one of our gunners on the outside.
It was Nick Gazaway. Did a great job getting down here to down it.
4th time this year, Jeff has kicked one inside the 20.
And so the ball would initially was spotted at the 2, so the half the distance here. They're going to have 1st and 10 from the 1.
7:03 to go in the third quarter. We thinking 2 here.
Yeah, they've got, let's see, they're going to spot it.
About the yard and a half.
See if the Crusaders pin their ears back. If Coach dials up some pressure and tries to find a tackle in the end zone. Duproux throwing out of his own end zone, one-on-one. Gilliam. Oh no, they're going to call a pass interference penalty on Tavian. He had turned around to look back for the ball, but he had a hand on the receiver as he did it. And that's going to bail the Vikings out of jail.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty inconsequential contact made.
I don't think, even with the contact, the receiver, Chatham, had any chance to catch that.
So, Chris, here's an interesting question. In the NFL, they won't call it if it's not a catchable ball. Does that catchable qualifier exist in the high school game as well?
I do not believe so. I do believe if the ball is tipped, you know, there can't be pass interference, but I don't think the catchability of it factors in at the high school level.
It'll mark the ball out to the 16, 1st and 10. 6:56 to go in the third. 34-0 Crusaders. Duproux out of the gun. Receiver to his or back to his right. Throws left across his body for a short catch, but the receiver breaks out of a tackle and up across the 25. They stop him right at the 25-yard line is where we'll call it. Gain of 9. We're looking at 3rd down. Make it 2nd down and 1 coming up here.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Crusader DB that was trying to make the play that time tried to tackle high, and low man wins, and that time the Crusader was high.
2nd down and 1 as the clock continues to run. Duproux out of the gun, 2 receivers left, and a bad snap. Duproux chases after it back behind the 5-yard line. He's going to heave it incomplete. And the defense calling for a flag there. There is none to be thrown.
Well, they're wanting an intentional grounding because it was pretty evident that Duproux was just scooping and pitching that thing out as quick as he could. I believe it's Coach Cole's down there lobbying, isn't it, Matt?
So he has that pocket to the left and right, right?
There they do get the intentional grounding because you have to be outside the tackle box, and he was clearly within the tackle box.
Also, the ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
So that's a loss of down penalty along with the yardage. There's very few loss of down penalties, but intentional grounding is one of them.
7th penalty tonight of the Vikings. Yeah, that bad snap, I mean, he basically went straight back. Never really veered left or right.
So here's the funny thing, guys. The ball was back there at the 1.5 yard line or whatnot, and it advanced quite a ways out after a penalty, and now we're right back where we started, pretty much.
2.5 yard line.
Yeah.
And it's now 3rd down from the 2. They need to get up to the 27 for a first down.
Well, the front four for Bueller's got to be licking their chops here, knowing everybody wants to get a safety and going to have a golden opportunity here.
Sure wouldn't be surprised to see a screen play right here.
They're going to keep Duprat out of the gun. Trips left, single back to the right. Here comes pressure off the edge. They'll throw over the middle. The ball is caught for a first down. Across the 25, it was a nice crossing pattern over the middle, and a nice catch by Hunter Reyes, his first of the night. And that's the Vikings a big first down across the 30 up to the 31-yard line.
Maybe the second biggest offensive gainer tonight for Winfield other than the end around.
I thought that was also the best thrown ball all night for Winfield. That ball was right on the numbers.
Yeah, Duprat threw that with pressure in his face and delivered it on the spot to Reyes, right at the hands. It'll be 1st and 10 Vikings from the 31. They stay out of the gun with trips left, throwing left again.
What a
catch. Nice catch made, and close to another first down. Christian Tovar had to adjust and come back to a high thrown ball. Was able to haul it down and get enough for another Viking first down up to the 43-yard line.
Hanen and Jeremy Gentry in on the stop for Bueller. And a very well caught ball as Tovar had to look over his outside shoulder and had to really go up and get that one.
I think as a flag comes out over on the Bueller sideline.
Yeah, Bueller coaching staff has been pretty much in the ear of this side judge right here.
Sideline warning on Bueller.
Varsity guys sticking the starters on the field. I think they're pretty motivated to stop this drive here.
Well, every D coordinator in America loves that big goose egg up there.
1st and 10, Vikings at their own 44. Started at the 1. They advanced it up the field, and a penalty took it back, and they've advanced it up again. It's kind of like if you're a race car driver and you drive through the field, find yourself at the back, and you have to do it again.
Fight your way back out. Gentry in on the stop there for Bueller.
Just a handoff between the tackles, and a gain of about 3 forward to the 46-yard line. 2nd down here for the Vikings. Duprat out of the gun, out of the sweep, and they'll hand it off. Now a halfback toss up the field, and it is caught but then dropped incomplete at the 20. They had one-on-one coverage with McDaniel on that far side. Jackson Davis in the sweep with the toss down the field, but fortunately for the Black Knights, it was dropped by the receiver.
Yeah, that time McDaniel got beat. I'm sure he probably read run and came up to try to stop the sweep, but good job, used his speed to try to make an athletic play and was able to make contact on the receiver as the ball arrived.
It was the extra running back, Jackson Davis, in on that play, who made that pass attempt down the field. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 7. 3rd and 7, excuse me. Duprat of the gun, running back to his right. 2 receivers left. They'll throw near side. First catch of the night. Another first down into Bueller territory. It is Adam Everett. The tight end rarely gets called in this Viking offense, but his only time his number's been called tonight, and he pays off into Bueller territory, the 40-yard line for a first down.
Kind of a throwback against the grain. All the action was going to the right that time.
Boy, after such a positive first half, this is not the way you wanted the second half to start.
Well, you wanted to come out and try to take away Winfield's momentum or any chance of trying to get something going, but unfortunately, due to some penalties, Winfield's got some life.
Now they go to the I formation on 1st and 10 from the Bueller 40. Left side run nets him about 2 yards before the Black Knights surround and bring down the running back that is starting tailback Cale Lindemann back in there for the Vikings. They give him almost 3 yards.
Lucas Anderson on the stop for Bueller.
Forward progress to the left hash mark of the 37. Vikings going right to left on this drive. They got the ball with 7:03 to go in this quarter. We're down inside 4 minutes now as they stay in the eye with 2 tight ends and a receiver left to right in motion. Play action. Duprois wants to throw. They sneak the tight end over the middle, and another big catch for Everett. And into the red zone come the Vikings. An impressive drive executed by Coach Monty Lewis. It'll be 1st and 10 down at the Crusader 12.
Looked like McDaniel just lost his footing as Gillian were trying to make a play on the football, and unfortunately Winfield's knocking on the door.
So the Vikings trying to score for the first time tonight, have it 1st and 10 at the 12, down 34-0. 16th game of the series. 4 times in those 16 they have been shut out. Out of the I formation, they stay with 2 tight ends, 1st and 10. Here is Duprois with a pitch to Lindemann to the right, trying to get to the edge, and he gets there right at the pylon, and touchdown by the far side official. Vikings score on their first drive of the second half.
Lindemann showed some top end speed that time. It was just a simple toss play out to the right, and he's able to get to the corner and have enough momentum to cross the goal line.
So that goes down as an 11-play, 99-yard drive, but it's actually quite a bit more than that because they had the penalty that sent them back to the 2 after they'd advanced it. There's probably another 20 yards in there somewhere, isn't there?
Yes, sir.
Boy, coaches cannot be happy that they let them out of the box. The kick is up and good. Vikings score first in the second half. 34-7. Crusaders lead it here from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
This is Annette with Annette KF Insurance. Inflation is hitting us hard, so it's a good time to review the cost and coverage of your auto and homeowners insurance. As an independent agent, I represent Goodville Mutual and several other fine companies. Stop by Annette Epp Insurance in Hutchinson at 2500 North Main, Suite E, or call 620-662-4900.
We're making more than just sweets at the Bakery House and Catering Company. Boxed lunches for local businesses, full-service catering for banquets and weddings, and freezer meals for family dinner. Come see us at the Bakery House, just 1 block east of 30th and Plum in Hutchinson.
If you're getting ready to buy or sell land, start a building project, or have a property line in question, call Alpha Land Surveys. With over 30 years of experience, you can trust Alpha Land Surveys. Call 728-0012 or go to alphalandsurveys.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Oh, a nice drive put together by the Vikings. Bueller's got to buckle that chin strap back up and get back to work. 11 plays, 99 yards, 3:11 on the clock here. Now 34-7. That's got to give the Vikings a little boost of energy.
Unfortunately, that's going to give them some pep in the step, and so Bueller's going to have to come out here offensively and try to retake the momentum.
Vikings will kick from the 40. Short kick, angling left. It'll bounce and be picked up at about the 12. And the Crusader to pick it up, hit immediately. That is
Jared Miller.
Miller over here on the near side.
Well, Miller had a tough draw that time as the ball was looking like it might go out of bounds, and obviously if it goes out of bounds without being touched, it's a penalty, and he really had to judge with guys bearing down on him. Do I risk this thing going out of bounds or a Winfield guy falling on it, or recover it? And he recovered it, and honestly, if he didn't, Winfield might have the ball right there.
So Bueller from their own 12, 1st and 10. Looks like the starters are still in. Gentry on a carry up the gut, forward progress to the 15, a gain of 3 on first down. Judging by the fact that the starters are back in, that the coaches are not pleased with the start to the second half.
Well, when you have a situation where the other team marches at 99 yards down the field, you don't want this game to get broken open somehow.
I can tell you Coach Coles was really in the ears of his defensive players after that last series.
Second down and 8, clock running. Just over 2 minutes to go in the quarter. From the 15, here is Klaus running left. And a flag comes out. That's going to be a defensive penalty, I think. A high tackle attempted near the 20.
Think a horse collar, Matt?
Guys, that's going to be an offensive penalty on Klaus.
Did he get up into the face mask of the defender?
This near side official is saying that he was in the defender's face mask.
Wow.
Boy, it seems like when that old momentum rolls back the other way, it kind of snowballs on you. That'll be the 5th penalty in the contest, 3rd in the half on the Crusaders.
Well, we felt so good, such a clean first half, and this third quarter has been just kind of dirty.
That'll move the ball all the way back to the 9-yard line. So it'll be second down and long. They're going to stay in the eye. Single receivers either side. Jeff will snap it from under center. Fakes to his tailback, rolls to his right, pump fakes, finds a receiver at the 20. It is caught and then driven out of bounds on the catch. Nice job over here.
It's Ty Goins on the tight end drag. Good job of getting possession. He knew he was going to get hit, holding on to the football and giving Buehler a manageable third down.
First catch of the night for Ty Goins. 4th of the year. Ty, who of course started the season last year as the center, had him on our coaches show Monday night. He said it's been really rejuvenating to his playing career to change positions, and he's had a lot of success this year at that tight end. 3rd down and 3 after a nice throw and catch to the tight end. Klaus is going to get the first down, busts through the line with a head of steam across the 25 and rolls over a defender across the 30 and up to the 31-yard line.
We were just talking about Ty Goins. Nice job. He had a huge seal block here on the right-hand side to help spring Klaus for that toss run.
As Mitchell just checked into the game, so early on in the set of downs, that's been where they've gone to him thus far.
1st and 10.
He's getting some single coverage over there on the far side.
At the 32. They're going to keep it on the ground. Here is Klaus. He's wrapped up from behind after a gain of about 3. We'll mark progress up to the 35-yard line. There's been a lot of physical contact out there. We've talked about that throughout the game, just how hard Winfield hits. But that'll leave you sore tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been one of those things. I've been impressed with Winfield not giving up tonight. You know, a lot of teams, if they're down 34-0 at the half, would have folded their tents, and Winfield has not done that.
Second down and 7 to 32. It's fullback's number that's called for in progress up to the 38-yard line. Gain of about 3. He's going to set up a 3rd down and about 4 here.
And Mason Marciano in on the stop. 6 foot, 350-pound senior for Winfield.
Yeah, I was just looking at as he chugged off the field. I mean, that is an intimidating dude.
Well, you get to 3 bills in the high school level, you're a big kid.
Well, not only that, but being 6 foot.
Yeah.
He's not a. That'll expire time in this third quarter. He's not a stocky 3 bills. He's a big dude. All right, fourth quarter coming up. Buehler, the big 3rd down on the way. 34-7. Crusaders lead it from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
Flooring, proud supporter of Buehler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buehler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
A lot has changed in the past 60-plus years, but Dick's Phillips 66 has been there through it all to keep you on the road. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station on East 4th and Hutch. Every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Hey guys, how's practice going?
Papa, I can't hit the ball over the fence yet.
Well, Easton, that fence is 300 feet away and you're only 4 years old.
How long before we can hit the ball over the fence?
Boys, it's not always about home runs, it's about teamwork and always getting better. Ray Riffing's been around for 83 years and we still believe in teamwork and working hard.
So, Papa, it's going to take 83 more years until we're good?
No, Brogan, you'll be good long before that. Just keep working hard. Most of all, have fun.
Riff the right way, the Ray way.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, on the third down play as we start the fourth quarter, and a run for the Crusaders, not much there. They'll get across the 40 to the 39. That's going to set up fourth down and about 1.5 yards. What are you doing here? It looks like going to bring the punt team on.
Yeah, don't want to give Winfield the ball with a short field, coming off their last possession being a scoring possession.
So Buhner had 2 drives in the second half, after scoring on every possession but one of the first half, facing a second punt. And there's a flag as Buhner did not get the ball snapped off before the play clock ran dead. Well, it's just a sloppy second half so far.
Chris, I've always wondered from other coaches, I always feel like when a team goes in big at halftime, it's kind of the job of those starters to come out and set the tone in the second half so the JV guys get to play.
Yeah, because, you know, it's one of those things you can't bring the young guys in if the game is starting to maybe not slip away, but the other side's starting to have some chances.
And a big return from the 20. Running right to the near sideline, Jackson Davis, who's shown some speed tonight. He gets up across the 45 to the 46 to give the Vikings a good start on their next series. So Winfield scored on their first drive of the second half, first score of the night. It is 34-7. They'll start this drive from their own 44 with some momentum in their hip pocket. Crusader football brought to you in part by Jackson Mead, by Hutchinson Community College, by Riza Brino, by Agro Center, and by Scooters Coffee. 1st and 10 Vikes from the right hash mark. Dupras out of the gun. 2 backs offset in the backfield. They put a receiver in motion. They pitch it to this right side. Not much there as the tailback Lindemann is corralled and brought down at the 49 after a gain of about 2. Marking back at the 48.
No, Matt, you're talking about just the momentum with the your starters. It definitely is one of those things that you don't want to just start subbing in randomly. It's one of those that you got to really feel like, okay, the work has been done at the varsity. Now we can start letting some of the JV and younger kids play.
Part of that, I think, it's those varsity guys have to come out in the second half and set the tone. And I'd say a tone has been set, but not the one the coaching staff was looking for.
Second down and 8. Dupras out of the gun to throw. Over the middle, it is tipped and almost picked off. Brayden Gentry, the Mike linebacker, had a chance at it.
A great way to reset things would be if the defense can force a turnover here.
The throw was high. Gentry had to go up to try and grab it, I think a little bit lower, and that's a pick.
Yeah, the ball got tipped up into the air, which is definitely a good thing for the defense. As an offensive player, you never want the ball to get tipped up.
So that brings up 3rd down and 8 for the Vikings. They'll go with trips to the right side here. Dupras with the tailback Lindemann to his right. And he's looking right the whole way. Slings it over the middle, and that is incomplete.
Good coverage that time by Jared Miller. Step for step with him.
Looking for Reyes right at the 40. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Guys, just of note, I had a chance to talk with Doc Lackey. They're going to keep Bodie out of the game just for some precautionary reasons. He took a hit low, and they just want to make sure that that he's all right.
So 4th down and 8. Looks like the Vikings will punt the ball away. And Hutto kicks from near the 40. And will angle near side and roll out of bounds near the 25. So you heard Matt saying Bodie Redenbaugh done for the night.
And it looks like second team offense coming out here for the Crusaders.
9:47 to go in the game.
Or maybe I just saw a couple new guys. Nope, I was incorrect. Sorry about that.
Buehler from their own 24-yard line, 1st and 10. And Klaus is still back out there. Gentry still at fullback. Jeffrey Neal will still command the offense. Buehler 0 for 2 on drives in the second half. And it'll be a keeper by the quarterback, Jeffrey Neal, running around the left end. And gets up to the 31 before he's driven out of bounds.
Good positive play to start off the drive.
So he picks up 7. Football right to left by the Crusaders in the 4th. Sitting at the left near side hash mark. 2nd down and about 3. 34-0, 9:41 to go in the game. Jeff under center. They stay in the eye. They pitch to Klaus. Ben running right's got the 1st down and tripped up just across the 35-yard line up to the 36. I figure a score here would regain control, and then maybe, well, we were saying at the end of the first half, how much would the starters play, and they've yet to come out here halfway through the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 after a First National Bank 1st down. Far side hash mark, right side of the field. Going right to left, out of the I formation. 2 receivers left here. And Jeff Neal hands it off to his tailback. Ben Klaus, left side, squirts through a hole across the 40 and up to the 42-yard line. And a gain of about 6 on 1st down.
Great hard run that time by Klaus. Good hole opened in front of him, as well as he wasn't touched until he got to the 2nd level of Winfield's defense.
A few different receivers rotating in. Cash Carson was in on that last play. Now Jared Miller comes onto the field. He'll be split out along with Mitchell McDaniel to the left side. So they overload the left side with 2 receivers. In the eye on 2nd down and about 3. And they stay with Klaus, who runs to the weak side of the field and tackled for not much over there. Brought down at the 43. Give him a yard. 3rd down and 3.
Clock continues to melt here at Giant Stadium.
Vikings picked the Crusaders in their last drive of the first half. They've forced 2 punts here in the second half. 3rd down and 3 as we go into the 8-minute mark. Jeff Neal under center. In the eye, they pitch it to Klaus. Far side, flag is down. Klaus right near the sticks. If the penalty is against the Vikings, it's a 1st down, but it doesn't look good from where that was thrown.
Yeah, Austin Savoy got shaken up a little bit on that play.
Savoy's a neat story. Kid who didn't get a lot of playing time early in his high school career, but he has worked extremely hard to get an opportunity to start this year. And it is a hold against the Crusaders. 6th penalty tonight.
Kind of a fun aside. Austin, when he's not playing football, is actually a softball umpire, and a really good one. We've had him for a number of our games. We always love it when he's working our games.
So back to the 33. That sets up a 3rd down and 13. It's one of those ugly holding penalties. Roars itself here late in the game. Jeff wants to throw one-on-one coverage, and Paisano shields off the defender, somehow catches the ball across the 50. What a grab by Quentin Paisano up at the Viking 48. Catch of the night.
It was, because Drew Graham probably could have gotten called for a pass interference as he shoved Paisano off the corner here on the near side, but Paisano stayed on the route and kept his concentration, and great catch there for the junior.
We'll make that our Happy Egg Company excellent play of the game. Happy Egg Company. Visit happyeggfarms.com to learn how you can help feed America. What a catch with the defender shielded on him by Quentin Paisano up to the 47, makes it 1st and 10. Fantastic job.
flag out. It's going to be encroachment on Winfield. Bueller went with the hard count that time and got a couple Vikes to enter the neutral zone.
That was a 20-yard pass play.
Guys, and interesting, they've actually been out, and they've put Mitchell back into the backfield at the tailback position.
Penalty is called on Winfield, encroachment. That is the Vikings' 8th penalty tonight. And they're going to hand it off. Hard run up the middle across the 40. That is the fullback, Braden Gentry, who gets it up to the 39-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play, 2nd down and 2. Clock running, 6:57 to go. Home for 2 weeks after tonight. Have the undefeated Mulvane Wildcats coming into the night. We'll have them next week. High formation from the left side hash mark. Mitchell McDaniel will get his first carry tonight at the tailback position, and he'll be tackled in the backfield for a loss at the 42.
Good open field tackle made that time by Mac Moore for Winfield.
Mulvane was on the road, favored at Rose Hill tonight. We'll have Rose Hill coming up at their place in a couple of weeks. Mulvane at home next week, Augusta at home the following week.
Yeah, Bueller coming into tonight was slotted the 5th best team in the West. Mulvane, one of the people that's ahead of us.
They're down at 5 here. They're going to put Jeffrey out of the gun with a single back. They want to throw, and it is thrown high and incomplete. And Tavian Gilliam over there on the far side, frustrated with himself that he wasn't able to catch that. And they're going to bring the punt unit back on. So, I don't know if you believe in moral victory. Sometimes I think they're kind of a joke, but Vikings and Bueller's last 4 possessions have held them out of the end zone.
Yeah, and keeping Bueller off the scoreboard in the second half. That's something Winfield, unless Bueller can get something going here.
Well, as happy as Coach was at halftime, a little less happy after the game. As they'll punt it away, and Jeff does it again. It bounces at the 2, and it's going to be down back near Winfield's own goal line for the 2nd time tonight. Well, you want to take something positive away. How about the punting of Jeff Neal?
It has been fantastic and great hustle that time by Ty Goins to down it at the 3.
Some of it, Matt, I think you alluded to this. You come out with so much adrenaline and energy, and then you get up big in the first half. You see this a lot in basketball where you kind of just let your attention and focus off, and the other team comes roaring back. Not that the Vikings have roared back, but it's once you take your foot off the gas, it's hard to regain that.
Yeah, and it's hard because Bueller's going to win the game, and so you hate to be too critical about it. But I do think one of the things that upperclassmen, seniors in particular, have a responsibility to do is to keep the pedal to the metal and demonstrate that, so that the younger guys both learn how to win, and also the younger guys then get a chance to play.
How many times in a basketball game have you seen a team get a monster league, let the pressure off, and then end up in a tight game?
Yeah.
Dupras's going to snap this out of his own end zone, down to 5 on the play clock as he makes the snap. 5:50 to go in the game, and he heaves it one-on-one coverage to the near side and through the hands of the 30 of the receiver. Pretty good coverage on the play too, but the receiver on the near side for the Vikings, Drew Graham, not able to haul that in.
Yeah, good coverage, like you said, Jared Miller, and that was one of those balls that was very well thrown by Dupras. If Graham holds on to it, that's a big first down, and Winfield has the opportunity to try to get another score on the board.
Clock stops with the incompletion. 2nd down and 10 from that 2-yard line. They'll go I formation with Dupras. He'll snap this right at the end zone line and tackled inside the 1, the fullback.
Lucas Anderson met him. I mean, they're going to give him forward progress crossing the goal line, but great effort that time by Anderson.
So a loss of a yard on the play, and now 3rd and goal inside the 1-yard line. A dangerous spot to hand the ball off to your fullback.
Yeah, that Buhler defense, they're licking their chops. Like we said earlier, everybody loves to say they got a safety.
Buhler has not scored yet in the second half. Could they do it defensively? They go with a stacked eye look on 3rd and 12. And they're going to pitch it to the tailback, who's going to be tackled. Oh, he just got away. 3 Buhler Crusaders had him in the end zone, and somehow Jackson Davis scampers away and gets out of bounds at the 3.
Yeah, Gotti was right there, as well as Chase Gentry. It looked like they had him dead to rights, but he just had enough strength and momentum to fight out of the tackle and get all the way out to the 3-yard line when you're back at the 1.
And that was going to be a halfback pass.
Yes.
Interesting place to call it.
Evan Hutto is going to punt out of the back of his own end zone. He just gets this away, and it's going to angle out of bounds near the 35. Yeah, definitely looked like Jackson was going to toss that, but because he had pressure, he had no choice but to run with it. And he is lucky.
Yes, yes. Buhler going to have the really short field here. They'll spot it at the 34-yard line with 4:23 remaining.
Well, it was 34-0 at the half. It's 34-7 here with 4:23 left in the game.
Guys, I do think we're probably looking at some wholesale changes along the offensive side of the ball. Looks like Brendan is going to play quarterback.
I think at this point you just can't, this late in the game, you just can't risk an injury. So Scrippy is in at quarterback. Imagine Gazaway will be in.
Jeffrey's in at receiver.
At fullback. And a new tailback as well as the flag comes out of the backfield in the handoff.
It's Cruz Hirschberger, the tailback, gets stopped for a couple-yard loss. Like you mentioned, the flag out at the snap.
Flag came out in the backfield at the snap. I was just looking at old Marciano again out there for Winfield. He takes up a ton of room in the middle. Flag is going to be a holding penalty, I believe, against the Crusaders. If I had to pick on one thing this year, that's been it, that holding penalty by the offense. Pushes the ball back to the 44. First down and 20 now out of the I formation. Scrippy will make the snap, hands it off. It's Hirschberger on a left side run. And a little extracurricular activity at the end of that play, and out comes another flag. It's kind of gotten ridiculous now at this point, hasn't it?
Yeah, we'll see who they call the penalty on.
A Viking ended up on his back. I don't know.
I think it was Austin Savoy, I think.
If there might have been a trip there.
Their guy checking in, Logan Turner.
Yeah, another penalty on the Crusaders.
So the other guys, Jordan Beckman out there for Buhler, trying to call out some of these guys. Carson Roberts just checked in, bringing the play.
So that'll push the ball back into Viking territory.
Caden Smith in there as well for Buhler.
At the 43. The original line of scrimmage is Buhler's 36. And then there's a fumble. I think Hirschberger's going to fall on it. 42-yard line.
Yeah, they ran an option to the right that time.
They've had 22 yards in penalties so far on this drive.
Clock continuing to melt here.
And Hirschberger just does save Buhler's second penalty, or second turnover, loss of a yard. Third and about 21 here as they'll snap it and hand it off and just keep it on the ground. Forward progress up to the 44.
Winfield's going to burn a timeout.
Crusaders are going to have to punt it away. Timeout on the field, 3:22 to go here. We'll step aside from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
Time to go to your happy place. Your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts are open in 2 great locations to help you get your morning started off on the right foot. Pine cones, fritters, long johns, twists, cake donuts, and of course the classic glazed donuts, and many others waiting for you with either an ice cold milk or a freshly brewed hot coffee. Made from scratch each morning at 1435 East 30th and 305 North Main Street. 2 great locations with the best donuts in town to help you start your day. Online at HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, our coverage tonight brought to you by Erickson Custom Building, Anima Bella, Salon Spa and Boutique by the Reniger Agency, by Midway Motors, and by American Family Agent Sheila Metzger. Her son Hunter, one of the cross-country members, will be competing tomorrow at Rimrock Farms. Over 300 teams from across the state will be part of that. It's just a massive cross-country meet.
Well, in a well-known location that, one of the top cross-country sites to hold a meet in the entire country.
So Bueller's going to have to punt here. Good luck to our volleyball team at Collegiate tomorrow. And Jeffrey Neal, another pretty good punt considering where he kicked that from.
It'll be interesting to see how far up the sideline the officials mark it where it went out of bounds.
I always wonder on this, do they really know? They just, yeah, let's stop about here. They call it out at the 26.
Well, with Winfield calling a timeout there, they're trying to preserve as much clock as they can. And the officials are still out on the field. Maybe another flag?
But at their own 26.
A hold on Winfield. Did not see the flag down, but there was just enough of a powwow out on the field.
Volleyball in action at Newton tomorrow. Freshmen are home for their home invitational. Good luck to them. JV and freshman football will be at home on Monday. The penalty yardage, they're going to go back to the 17. So the Vikings will start here with 3:15 left. We had a quick first half. Second half's been a little bit of a different story. 1st and 10 Vikings. 3:15 to go in the game. 34-7. Duprat out of the gun. Trips left. Pressure. Caught in the backfield by the tailback, scrambles away from one defender, cannot from a second, and a tackle for a loss at the 15-yard line.
Nice tackle made in space by one of the Crusaders. I believe it was Cash Carson that got just a little bit of him.
Loss of 2 for Lindemann.
Substitutions continuing to take place for Bueller.
Varsity golf will be back in play Monday. They go back to Cheney, don't they?
Yep, they were just at Cheney the other day for the Cheney tournament. Now they'll be back there for the Andale Garden Plain tournament at Cheney.
Freshmen actually play Heston on Monday. In football, here's Duprat, a throw over the middle, and it is tipped and intercepted. Tipped and picked off by the Crusaders. A flag comes out. Hirschberger ends up with the ball, but I believe it was Miller who tipped it. I think Jared Miller got a hand on that, tipped it up in the air, and Cruz Hirschberger ended up with it. Second INT, 4th turnover of the night.
And a flag
on the
out.
Vikings.
That flag came, it looked like right on the sideline.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was something.
It did come well after the pick.
Yeah, but some sort of extracurricular something going on over there.
There hasn't been any of that tonight.
This is a shot in the dark, but as players, they're supposed to stay off the white box on the field, and there's been Winfield kids on that white box all night long. Taunting on Winfield.
And now this is the full, I believe, JV offense on the field now, guys.
Well, a first down here would salt it away. 2:22 left.
Yep, have third string quarterback Eli White out there, the 5'8", 140-pound sophomore.
So freshman football will host Heston at 4 o'clock Monday, and then JV hosts Winfield following at 6. First and 10 here from the Winfield 12-yard line. Here is Hirschberger with a hard inside run. Forward progress, a gain of 2 to the 10-yard line. Clock will run inside 2 minutes to go.
Mason Hurl, senior, bringing the play in for the Crusaders.
Tennis will be at Smoky Valley on Tuesday. They split squad at Smoky Valley and at Kingman on Tuesday. Soccer has their big matchup with their rival McPherson. JV 5 o'clock at McPherson High School Tuesday, and then the varsity to follow. Volleyball has a big trip to Towanda. Second down and 9. They'll pitch it to Hirschberger. A little hole in the right side. And forward progress up to the 5. It sets up third down and about 3 here. Boy, how bad does Cruz Hirschberger want to find the end zone?
He knows he's close, so he's going to try to scratch, fight, and claw to get there.
.110 on the clock here. 34-7. All 34 points for Buhler tonight have come in the first half. I formation. Single receivers either side. They'll take the snap and the pitch. Hirschberger following his blockers, getting to the edge, lowers the boom and into the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders!
Great second effort that time by Cruz Hirschberger, and it looked like he got a little extra help right at the very end of the play by one of the Crusaders, helping to push him across the goal line for Buhler's first score of the second half. Isn't that crazy? If you would have told me that it was going to be the 40-second mark before we scored again in the second half, at halftime I would have been shocked. But what good effort that time by Hirschberger.
Pretty cool thing for him to experience here on a Friday night in the early fall.
Well, Doyd for the extra point from the 10 with 48 seconds to go. And the kick is up and good. And the Crusaders extend their lead 41-7. Final kickoff of the night, most likely, when we come back from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
The Booster Club supports student activities and athletics at Buhler High School. Be sure to follow the Crusader Closet and Booster Club on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for events and new Crusader apparel arrivals. The Crusader Closet is open at most home athletic events. If you would like to be a member, please reach out to us on our Facebook page. Thank you for the continued support from our generous donors.
Hi, it's Aaron West, voice of the Crusaders. Ad Astra Radio is a proud Buhler Booster Club member.
Want lights that come on at dusk and turn off at dawn automatically? At Sunflower Electric, we have bulbs that can directly replace your existing 60-watt bulbs, providing extra security for a very low cost with no timers to set. This bulb includes an internal sensor that works in any direction and can be used indoor, outdoor, and in damp locations. Has a 15,000-hour lifespan and priced under $5 each. Call us at 620-662-0531 or stop by Sunflower Electric in Hutchinson, Great Bend, or Liberal.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Cruz Hirschberger touchdown comes at the end of a 3-play, 12-yard drive, 48 seconds left in the game. Buhler leads at 41-7. And Dawson Valdoy will kick off from his 43 return man for the Vikings inside the 10. And Doss will drive this one back to the 3, returnable there. Angling to the right side, now cutting back to the middle, still on his feet. The return man at the 25, and finally down near the 30 on the return for the Vikings. That is Dane Chatham.
The special teams tackle made that time by Brady Gotti.
Winfield will have it back with 38 seconds to go. They'll start this drive.
I'd be ready for these guys to,
from their own 30,
try to take some swings. The tough thing for them, they're going into the wind. If they do run a play, they only have to run the ball one time for this thing to be over.
First and 10 from the 25. Single back. will get the pitch. That is Chatham running left and has enough across the 40 for a first down. Dane Chatham.
Logan Turner in on the stop for Buhler.
They took very little off the clock there. Runs for 12. It'll be first down from there.
Flag out.
Flag out on a right side run. Forward to the 50. And out of bounds comes Chatham. 13 seconds on the clock.
Had a trips right. Just a toss sweep to the right-hand side.
But a hold is going to bring it back.
13 ticks left. Winfield's probably looking at a total of...
That is an even 10 penalties tonight on the Vikings.
Drive time if they do throw the football here.
We've had 18 flags in the game that have been accepted. There were probably a couple that were not. I know there were a couple of offsetting penalties in there. There's been a lot of laundry tonight. Moves it back to the 32. First and 20. And off to the right side, and that should do it. That'll be the final play of the game. Tackled at the 35, and the Crusaders, although be it not a smooth second half, an exciting finish with the Cruz Hirschberger touchdown. And 41-7, Buhler wins it. And now 16-0 all time in the series against the Vikings. So Winfield, after winning their season opener against Arc City, has dropped 3 in a row, and they will have the unfortunate task of traveling to McPherson next week. Buhler now 3-1, 2-0 in the league, and they'll head home for homecoming against Mulvane next Friday night. 41-7 the final, and our Crusader Locker Room show begins next here from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. This is Crusader football on HKFM.
Crusader football continues next with the Crusader Locker Room Show. On the way, Aaron and Chris recap tonight's game, and we'll hear the post-game thoughts of head coach Steve Warner. Your home for the Buhler Crusaders is 95.9 HKFM.
The name Johnson Sheet Metal does not sound like a heating and air conditioning company, but Johnson Sheet Metal has been taking care of your comfort needs for over 100 years. Hi, this is Sarah Johnson, and through 4 generations, my family has specialized in the Lennox brand, but we service other makes and models as well. Today, we are still servicing and installing heating and air conditioning systems in Hutchinson and Reno County. Give Johnson Sheet Metal a call today at 620-662-0224.
Welcome to the Hutch Medicine Shop. The Medicine Shop carries thousands of prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, but we also feature homemade goods that are grown and made right here in Central Kansas. We call it Home Sweet Hutch. It's just one way the Medicine Shop can give back to our community. Jellies, pickles, beets, salsa, homemade candy, peanut brittle, and coffee are among the goodies available. Home Sweet Hutch, another way the Hutch Medicine Shop keeps it local.
One play can change momentum in a game, and one deductible is a game changer when it comes to your insurance. That's why you should see me, Steve Curtin, your Farm Bureau agent here in Hutchinson. I can help bundle your car and home together in a single policy. So if life sends a blitz in the form of a storm or a fire, you'll pay just one deductible for everything that's covered. Talk to Farm Bureau agent Steve Curtin today and see how I can help protect what matters most.
Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
When it comes to protecting your family, having ease of mind that your personal property and belongings are properly insured are priceless. Hi, this is Jody Elliott Bowen with Pro Value Insurance. Our team is here to ensure all your personal insurance needs are met for home, auto, life, and everything in between. Call us today at 800-362-2104 and let us help you find the right coverage that matches your needs. Pro Value Insurance is proud to offer several insurance companies, including Nationwide.
Crusader football on HKFM.
We'll back here in our Crusader locker room show as Buhler wins it tonight 41-7. 34 of those 41 came in an impressive first half. Buhler scored on every drive but one in the first half. The only kind of blemish was that INT, which coach felt like chance to hit a receiver there, just unable to connect, and the Vikings forced Buhler's only turnover. They were positive +3 in the turnovers, so 4 takeaways, 2 INTs, and 2 fumble recoveries from Winfield against by Buhler against Winfield in the game. You get to the second half, and not a lot of offensive momentum. Interesting, we kind of talked about it during the game, but sometimes you get up so big, you're just guessing, but and you come out in the second half and maybe lose a little focus or a little intensity, and things just kind of snowballed a little bit.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. It was the first time this season that we had a big lead at halftime. That was a new scenario for this group of young men, and so, you know, the thing about it, I'm sure it's going to be a point of emphasis to talk about, and so the next time Buhler has a big lead at the half, you know, coming out in that third quarter and really setting the tone and keeping the momentum going, and not, you know, and Winfield was never able to get back into this game within striking distance, but just they were able to really frustrate the Buhler offense in the second half.
Yeah, Vikings did put together a touchdown drive in their first drive of the second half. It started their own one. They drove it out to around the 20, 30-yard line, and a penalty pushed them back to the 2. So they actually ended up, I don't know, something like 119 yards on that drive. And they made it 34-7, 41-7 was the final takeaway. The positives they picked right back up in that first half where they left off last week, dominating the line of scrimmage and just churning up a lot of hard yards on the ground.
Yeah, no, it's something that, you know, as a team, they're always looking for the things that are positive that you can build off of and the things that you need to work on. But, yeah, no, Buhler had a good, successful night running the football tonight and, you know, won the turnover battle, although it's something that they're going to be looking for that game where we don't turn it over at all. But yeah, no, there was some good hard running, you know, from multiple backs for Buhler tonight. And, you know, big thing, highest point total of the year so far for Buhler, scoring about twice as many touchdowns as we have through the first 3 weeks, and holding your opponent to just 1 score. So those are things that are trending in the right way for Buhler.
You know, from week to week, from crew to crew, each crew's going to call the game slightly different. This crew, and I think some of it was maybe there was some extra words being exchanged from both sides throughout the game, and they called it close. They called a pretty tight game. A lot of penalty flags tonight.
Yes, lots of holds called on both sides tonight, and you hit the nail on the head when there's a situation where if there is some extracurricular stuff, officials tend to throw more flags. If it's a game that there's not many words being exchanged, they're maybe not going to call as many things. But yeah, no, it's you know, win number 3 in a row for Buhler. You know, they pushed the record up to 3-1. And get ready for a Mulvane team that will try to see how the Wildcats did tonight, but they were 3-0 coming into tonight. So, you know, Buhler has the opportunity to potentially play an undefeated or at worst a 3-1 team next week, which that'll be a big matchup.
You know, and what you always get ready for when you play Mulvane, watch out for a little trickeration.
Yes, yes. And Mulvane tonight was at Rose Hill. Rose Hill's had a really rough year, so I would guesstimate that we might be playing a 4-0 team, which any team that's halfway through the regular season undefeated, they're going to have some intensity, they're going to have some belief in themselves, and should be a great contest next week at Crusader Stadium for the Buhler Crusaders and Mulvane Wildcats.
We talked about that turnover 2 weeks in a row where they've won that turnover battle, and it feels like maybe the tide has turned there a little bit. Seems like all last year we were behind constantly in turnovers, and boy, there are only so many things as a team you can just keep having to overcome. And so defense playing really well I thought other than that long drive tonight where maybe they lost a little bit of focus, they're playing fantastic.
Yes. The secondary's playing physical. The D-line isn't allowing a lot of rushing yards. Linebackers are doing a great job covering sideline to sideline, and they just play as a well put together unit. There's a few spots that they rotate people in at, and there's not really much drop off when they bring in some of the other guys out there on defense, which is a testament to how good this defensive unit is.
Well, tonight's rising star of the game, Rise Up Reno Prevention Network, their mission to strengthen families and provide healthy youth behaviors. Rise Up Reno. I like to give it to different guys.
Yeah.
How do you think about old Cruz Hirschberger tonight? He got a pick and a touchdown.
Yes, that's a big night for the junior. And you talked about it. He runs the ball so hard. Whenever he checked into a game in his varsity career, when he comes in, he's going to run and give it everything he's got. And getting a pick and getting a touchdown, that's a good night in the office for him.
Well, they got the ball right there around the 10 on that last drive, and you could just tell on those runs he was running a little extra hard. He wanted that touchdown.
Well, getting a varsity touchdown is a huge thing, and hats off to him for getting paid her.
All right, we'll get to final stats and some other scores coming up. First, though, we'll get connected with Coach and get some final words from our head coach. Coach, Chris and I were just talking about as Coach Warner joins us now, Cruz Hirschberger there at the end. He gets the pick, and then you could tell the way he was running there on that last drive that he really wanted that touchdown.
He really wanted the touchdown. I'm very happy for him. That's very cool for him to be able to get that touchdown. He did run hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Got the pick in the game. And, Coach, just looking at the positives, another night where you win the turnover battle. You forced 4 of them tonight.
That was our goal going in. I told our defense we needed to create 4 turnovers. And I don't believe we had one, did we?
Had one. Jeff threw that pick there right at the end of the first half.
Right before the half. Yes. So we went +3. That's good. I'll take that. That's much better.
Boy, minus that INT, that's one whale of a second first half. I mean, about as good a first half as we've played, I think, in quite a while.
I agree. We dominated the entire first half, and very proud of the way the kids came out of the locker room ready to play. And we haven't been doing that on offense. Defense has been doing it all year, and offense did, and that was, it took them out of the rhythm and everything they wanted to do. So it definitely did exactly what we wanted by coming and dominating.
Coach, you and I talked about it at the coaches show Monday. Coach Lewis, although the win and loss column doesn't show a lot of success, he gets his kids to play really hard. And, boy, that was not easy out there tonight. It was very physical.
Well, it was very physical, and they played well in the second half. And I was disappointed in all the penalties that we had, obviously. That's stuff we've got to get corrected. And playing better teams, we definitely can't do that.
Coach, is it maybe hard to put a finger on, but just relaxing a little bit in the second half, kind of taking your focus off? What do you attribute some of that to?
I think it was. Unfortunately, we definitely the plan was to come in and score and then get some JV kids in more than what they got to play. And I think it was. And then also we had some penalties that took us out. In the first half, we didn't have as many penalties. In the second half, we had more. So that takes us out of our game plan where we want to run the ball and pick them apart, in the run. They also shut down the inside trap in the second half. But, they gave it to us in the first half, so we ran a lot. I believe Nick got a touchdown on that play, and that was nice to see for him. But I think you're up 34-0. I think we had a little letdown.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, I guess you're kind of caught as a coach. You don't want to take your starters out with some negative things happening. You're trying to regain that momentum before you make those changes. Sometimes it might be hard to determine when, I guess, the right time to do that is.
Well, you certainly don't want anybody getting hurt either. So, but Bodie kind of dinged his knee. We're not sure what happened there. And that was early in the third quarter, so it wasn't, at the time when we were thinking we were taking him out anyway. But, yeah, it's kind of a fine line. You don't want anybody to get hurt, and yet they're good enough that we don't play some good kids, and we could be in trouble real fast. And I definitely don't want that to happen.
Yeah. How about that catch that Quentin made here? It was across the field from you on this near sideline. That was a pretty nice catch.
That was an amazing catch. Oh, because it was great coverage. The other player had him covered very, very well, but he was falling backwards, made a great catch.
Well, Coach, you continue win streak. You move to 3-1 now. Get to go home for 2 weeks, and you get an likely undefeated Mulvane team next Friday. So you got to be ready for them.
Yeah, I assume they probably won tonight, so they're going to be 4-0, and they're going to have a lot of confidence, and we're going to have to come out and play good football.
Be prepared for some trickeration, too.
You always have to against those guys.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Thank you.
That's Coach Steve Warner with his thoughts, and, again, him just thinking, hey, maybe, just a little bit relaxed, a little bit of a letdown in that second half, but still ended on a positive. So, all in all, good night of football.
Yes, no, good for Buhler to come out, set the tone early, get a good solid win. We talked about Coach Lewis, former college coach. He's a guy that knows football, so a game that definitely and Buhler just to play maybe the best game they've played so far. Not the perfect game yet, but that elusive game is maybe coming up down the road for Buhler.
Coaches are always chasing that perfect game, aren't they? It's elusive.
Well, and that's the thing with coaches too. Even after a win, you sit there and go, "Oh, we could have done this better. We could have done that better." But hopefully, Bodie's okay. I know that he got banged up a little bit today, so as long as Buhler gets home and we don't have anybody injured too badly, they can start getting ready for, like you said, an undefeated Mulvane team. Anytime there's somebody that's 4-0 at any level of football, you're playing in week 5, they're 4-0, you better be prepared for them.
All right, 41-7, the final will come back. Final stats and final scores right after this. The Crusader Locker Room Show on HKFM.
More of the Crusader Locker Room Show is next. Stay tuned as we name tonight's play and player of the game. Stream Crusader football on your phone or tablet with the Ad Astra Radio app. 95.9 HKFM.
Water's Edge Restaurant and Catering has your cravings covered morning, noon, and Thursday nights. In Heston, open Tuesday through Sunday. Join them for an all-day breakfast, classic comfort food favorites, or daily lunch specials featuring a wide and unique variety. Thursday nights come in for theme nights like the famous fried chicken, waffles, burgers, Mexican or Italian, and ask about catering options. Find them online at watersedgeheston.com for menu and catering options.
Get the key. Self-storage now open. South Hutchinson, hassle-free 24/7. AC, RV, and boats, and lockers, and units, and secure video surveillance, and online at gtkss.com.
Why shop for meat anywhere else when you can shop locally at Jackson Meat? Quality meats, reasonable prices, and exceptional customer service. Save with our weekly specials and meat bundle packages.
Experience the difference at Jackson Meat.